Hello, hi, happy birthday to me. I'm old now. I've been old. Mm, yeah, I'm gonna say that. I'm old. I was old since the day I was born, though. Continuing. Hive swap friend sim. Gonna grind that out quite a bit, probably. Uh, Hive swap friend sim. Is the unk card coming in the mail? I don't get the unk card in the mail. Uh, it was just always there. Oh, friend sim. Oh, whoa. I don't want to full screen that. I want it like this. There we go. Oh my gosh. Wow. Uh, boom. And is the volume okay? Let me double check everything. Should be fine now. Okay. Yeah. Uh, and I was looking at I was looking for more fanfic to read, and I just keep seeing things that I need to wait until I'm finished with Homestuck to check out, and it hurts my soul. It hurts my soul because these things look very, very interesting. I should say. I don't know if I can say they look good. I think they do, but hard to say. Hard to say. Uh, okay. Continue my friendsome experience. OMG. We are on volume 13 with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to go. So like 12 hours to go. So not too bad, not too bad. Uh, I would have liked to start Hives. I would have liked to start Hive Swap Act 2 this year, but I don't know if I'll have time to do that. So it might be a next year thing, unless I take this out in like a couple streams. Hmm. I said I was gonna finish this one. I said I was gonna finish it before I started the next one. Uh, okay. Something that always pops in my mind whenever I'm doing anything. Blah blah blah. Friendship. Blah. Friendship is witchcraft. One thing I always like think about is playing Minecraft, but don't. I don't know if I like Minecraft. I have this like. I have a. I like the idea of me playing Minecraft. I like the idea of Minecraft. I like the vibes of Minecraft. But every time I try to play Minecraft, except for maybe not the last time. Last time was actually quite a bit of fun. But whenever I try to play Minecraft, I just can't do it. I don't know. It's like I think it was more of a social game for me than other games. I feel like it's people call like Lethal Company, Repo, like friendship slot, but all I can do Terraria is the better game anyways. I don't own that game sadly. I own a game called Total Miner, and I own a game called Castle Miner Z, which was always which was always superior. Both of those were. Oh my god, we got fucking cool little like detective little dude. Oh shit. And then um fucking how old is this lady, dude? She's dressing too old to be a Curlian blood, man. Oh fuck. They got tooth. Oh shit. Okay. Boulder? Boulder Lamati? Okay. Oh, I'm here. Never seen these two in my life. Oh. You aren't ooh. You just aren't feeling it today. You're getting more and more of these gray nights recently. Nights where the call of the streets, that that infinite ramble for companionship, just sounds exhausting and meaningless. You had days like this back on Earth too, when getting out of bed just didn't seem worth it. The sun is just beginning to slip under the horizon, and usually this would be the sign to rise and shine, or rise and dark. But all of you've managed to do so far this evening is make yourself some coffee. You recently mentioned to Gorgor that you drink instant, and he was so disgusted that he gave you a coffee machine. He claimed it was an old one he doesn't use anymore, but it still had the price tag on it. Uh, I drink instant coffee. That's the only coffee I drink at home. Not much of a coffee guy, but that's all I got. Uh, on the table sits a palm husk. Connell had taken off a dead kid especially for you, and cradled in your hand is a smug skyless scent. Oh, is a mug skyless scent. Ugh. It looks like she painted it herself. There's a white blob on one side, and you think it's supposed to be lady. Oh, you're even wearing the hoodie Malik gave you to cut the evening chill. Here you are all wrapped up in the warm embraces of your friend's goodwill, safe and sound, but deep inside you festers something, a gnawing existential dissatisfaction, that classic angst the philosophers wrote about. Your palm husk chimes and you pick it up lazily. What? Another rando trying to slide into your DMs? Sorry, folks. You just don't have time for that anymore. You are a friendship connoisseur, a sommelier, a somal, yeah, of the rarest of em, amicable vintages. You unlock the screen to find a message.
I'm not sure that this line is secure. Actually, I'm positive that it isn't, but I'm risking contact because it is imperative that we speak. I'm sending you rendezvous coordinates. If you wouldn't mind coming any time after the sun has set. I realize that this is unorthodox, but please believe me when I tell you that this is not a trick or a trap. I have important information regarding your place on Alternia.
You attempt to reply to the message, but there isn't a cursor or anywhere to input text. In fact, there doesn't even appear to be a messenger app on your phone. It's just a random text box floating in the void. You barely have a chance to read it all the way through before it vanishes and Google Maps opens with an address already programmed in. It's close enough to walk to, which is great, because using your stolen scuttle buggy still makes you a little nervous. You swallow the rest of your coffee and grab your shoes. Oh. Your GPS leads you to a shop you recognize. It's the cafe from your weird sort of date with Linera. Linera? It's not too crowded at this time of day. The usual studying crowd doesn't appear to be here. A couple trolls are sitting around sharing pots of tea. Oh shit. Oh shit.
Fucking idiots. I explicitly stated I wanted essence of Dayglow, not whatever this garbage is.
Oh, you know this person. It really has been a minute, hasn't it? Oh shit. Ardetta stands in front of the counter, shouting at the cash register. Whatever automated system runs this shop has apparently gotten her order wrong.
What are you looking at? This is absolutely none of your... Oh. It's you.
Ardetta swiftly covers up her surprise, examining a sharp, perfectly shaped nail.
You look different.
Better? It's Ardetta, nice. Yes.
Let's not exaggerate. I simply meant you look less like toxic waste and more like the grain grinder garbage.
You tell Ardetta that it's good. It's good she. You tell our dada that it's good to see her too. Man, this really takes you back. You'd been so simple back then, so unevolved. You were laser focused on a single desire: friendship. Now, well, you still like friends. You really do. But you also have, like, a car and a sweatshirt with somebody's sign on it. You've moved up in this world.
Fascinating.
Oh, by the way, is she the one who summoned you here?
Summoned you? You must be joking. I haven't spared a single solitary thought of you. A thought for you since you dragged your wretched carcass out of my hive.
Absently, you push your hand into the pockets your hoodie. Your hands into the pockets your hoodie. Something crinkles between your fingers, and you pull out a folded piece of notebook paper. Okay, this definitely hadn't been in there when you'd left your hive. You passed a couple people in the streets, but you definitely don't remember any of them getting close enough to slip something in your pocket. Huh? It only says 2 words. Out back. Oh man, should you go? Should I go? Oh, I gotta start covering up some of these loads now. I can't do those. I can do these. No. Here we go. I can do this. Yes, override. Definitely not creepy stuff. Yes. But backyards are as bad as basements. No way. That's not why I wouldn't go. It's because I gotta leave my gal our data. I mean, I can't do that. Okay, listen. You've done some pretty dumb stuff since you crash landed here. For instance, following the woman standing in front of you into her basement. But not this time. Nice try, Cat Fisher.
Important correspondence.
Nah, you crumpled a page up in your hand. Nothing that can't wait. You generally thought I wasn't subscribed. Skull emoji. Interesting.
Good. Impeccable timing. Just what I was hoping you would say.
Friend blocked. Damn. Damn. This is good. It's not a bad ending though, right? 'Cause I'm with the gal, so shit. Let's be real here. If you were ever going to refuse a suspicious invitation, you would have done it by now. You would have drawn the line at vehicle theft or murder church or anime club. Anime club. You can't resist a social engagement. Your tragic flaw.
Okay, I guess. Enjoy yourself.
Oh, okay. If you love something, let it go. You head back through a beaded curtain, half expecting an alarm to ring. How do they keep people from just robbing stores here? Are there like lasers and shit? You emerge into a tidy little back garden. None of the planets here are ones you recognize from Earth. Well, none of the plants, but it's still nice. You cross a bridge over a slow-flowing stream and find yourself looking down at a path that blooms into a tight, dizzying spiral. Maybe you're supposed to walk across it and ponder your place in the universe? Your contemplation would be inevitably cut off before it hits its climax. Because someone is sitting at the center of the spiral. She is small, compact shaped with her hair cut short and choppy around her chin, wearing a shapeless white dress, really more of a robe.
Pissed. I've been waiting for you.
Damn, dude. Sheesh. Oh, fuck. Damn. Oh, the tooth, dude. The tooth is like good with this actually. Actually, how common is this like this trope, like this design trope actually? I got the Supreme shirt. Fuck. I got the cheaper one though. The logo's tiny at the bottom. Fuck, why'd I know that? Huh.
I've been waiting for you. Thanks for coming.
I guess I should probably change it, huh? She speaks in a stage whisper, low and full of air, but still loud enough to hear across the path. Oh, so I'm doing the voice completely wrong. Okay. You pick your way carefully across the spiral, making sure not to mess any of it up, treading only inside the lines. The girl gives you a small, secretive smile. My name's Boulder. Boulder? It is Boulder, right? My name's Boulder. That's still wrong. My name's Boulder. You ask her if this is her garden. Does she live here? It's nice, but it's not exactly out of the element. But it's... Actually, it looks like there's some storm clouds rolling in. You're probably going to get rain soon.
Oh, yeah. My raccoon is over there under that tree.
She smiles again. I don't know if I can do that voice with this mic setup I have right now. Now I'm interested. Okay. I don't think it'll pick up. She smiles again, and you can't tell if she's messing around. In fact, she is entirely unreadable. Like your face is a totally reflective surface, and all you're seeing is the cloudy sky in the garden. You can't tell how she feels about you at all.
Would you like to sit down? Would you like to sit down?
Inside the circle. Or she looks around like she is only just realizing she's at the center of a complicated geometric pattern.
It doesn't matter. I only wanted to see if you would follow the path or trample through it. But you did neither. You forged your own way through while taking care to preserve that which has come before.
You ask her what that means.
Maybe nothing. I'm not sure.
The wind tosses her hair and the clouds chase each other across the sky. If the rain comes, it will come soon. Boulder continues to look at you like you shifted awkwardly and shiver, pushing your hands into your hoodie. This is different than any other friend meetup you've had, even with the others who purposefully sought you out. There is a serenity to Boulder that all the rest lack. Or maybe that's just this zen-ass fuck garden getting to you. You try to remember what Boulder said to you in the message that she somehow managed to make appear on your phone and then immediately self-immolates that she has some information for you about your place in Alternia or some shit like that.
Did I say that? I guess I did. I just, I suppose I wanted a chance to talk to you a bit before the end.
Scary. Fucking cult time, I guess. Oh wait, did I read that?
I was starting to feel a little, jealous, maybe?
Right. Because everybody has been going on about the funny dumb alien robot who's been prowling the countryside.
No, that's not it. Though I'm sure you're very funny. I just wanted a chance to talk to you. Someone who is so adrift in the swell of fate and the whims of the paradox.
Paradox? You don't know anything about paradoxes. Well, you know what they are. You just don't see why they're relevant.
They aren't Paradoxes aren't irrelevant by their nature. It's the essence of that nature that makes them so integral to this story.
You shake your head. You're not built for this cosmic stuff. You're just an orphan from Earth with quick fingers for spaceships and apparently vehicles. Boulder gives you another sly smile.
Oh, quick fingers.
You blush. You hadn't meant that as a dirty joke or anything. Also, your fingers are nowhere near as quick as hers. She somehow got a piece of paper in your pocket while you were standing in a cafe, and she was back here. That's like reverse pickpocketing through astral projection. This track in the background, by the way, was used in one of the trailers for HIVESWAP before its release. Okay. Man, I gotta get the HIVESWAP Act 2, and then play the demo for Act 3. There was a demo, right? Yeah, someone said that. Boulder laughs. She stands up and moves across the garden path, following the spiral so swiftly and efficiently that she might as well be floating. She drifts over to one of the trees, pulling a coat down from where it's slung over a branch. Oh. Because I've already seen this fit, so. It covers her from chin to ankles, coming together to form an olive green symbol on her chest that looks like a question mark without the dots. A broad-brimmed hat finishes out the ensemble.
Well, I can't teach you astral projection, but pickpocketing is actually quite simple. Would you care to learn? Ideally, we'd need a third person to act as the mark, but I think we can make it to work.
More crime, huh? No more crime, please. Oh, wait. I guess I save. You've already got a hell of a rap sheet. Maybe it would be best not to add any new skills that could lead you into temptation.
Fair enough. Would you care to go for a stroll? It's a nice night.
It's a windy, unsettled night, and it looks like rain. You suppose that's nice, depending on your definition. Okay, so like, I feel like too many of my friends in like I guess high school, which would have been fucking not a million, like a while ago, all like really rainy days and nights, and I never really liked rainy nights and days. Like, you can't see the stars, you can't see the sky. I don't really get it, because it sounds nice. It's a nice night.
It's a nice night.
Oh, I heard the You'd absolutely love to take a stroll. That's your whole vibe recently. Strolling. You follow her out through a little back gate into the street. Rainy days are nice to sleep. You leave the cafe behind and are quickly consumed by the drift of the midnight crowd. I find it hard to sleep with like any noise. You brace for the inevitable pitying, hostile looks you get whenever you go out in public. You should have mentioned that you try to avoid large groups, but strangely no one even glances at you. It's like Boulder exudes a sneaky aura that encompasses the both of you. As you walk, you ask her if she really believes in fate. Like, the two of you were always going to meet, and nothing could have happened any differently, no matter what you did. Boulder gives you a thoughtful, sidelong glance. I like that, actually. Wait. I like the subtle difference. That's nice. I didn't realize it before. Cause yeah, cause they moved every time before, I guess.
Well, that would imply that none of our choices matter and that causality is inevitable. That randomness is irrelevant, right?
Sure. You scamper to keep up with her, both physically and mentally. For someone who asked you to take a stroll, she sure is booking it down the street.
But that disregards our choice. Fate dictates that all possibilities are, by their very nature, necessities. Or rather, the choice you made was the only one you ever could make. I doubt the universe is that simple.
Doesn't sound simple to you, but you hum and nod sagely because you want Boulder to think you're deep.
Instead of asking yourself whether you were meant to meet me and meant to be here, it makes more sense to wonder what the forces are that have conspired to bring it into being.
Well, that would be exhaustion and ineptitude. you, sorry, you don't exactly remember what happened, but you sure involved something stupid like falling asleep at the wheel and drifting off into another solar system. Fucking damn. Fucking. Sorry. Damn. Oh wait. Oh my god, I apologize, but I have to be right back. Uh Let's bring back a classic. Let's bring back the classic here. Here you go. I don't know how loud this is. Oh, that's loud. Ow. I guess I don't know if that was out on stream. Oh well, I guess I was talking, so that would have like made it quieter actually. So okay. Here we go. Yeah, I'll be right back. Here you guys go. Have some fun. There we go. I'll put it like there we go. Yeah. Yeah, that's the spot. Oh my god, I'm back. Oh my god, look at the keys, look at the keys, look at the keys. The keys. Oh, I can't believe this actually works on me. Surprisingly noisy for the amount of keys visual represented. Keys are loud, man. Keys are loud. I feel bad getting rid of them all, so we'll do it a little differently. There we go. Maybe that's a little too loud, maybe a little fainter. There we go. Oh. Oh, there we go. Yes. Much better now. Well, that would be... Oh yeah, I heard that. Oh my gosh, imagine. This is the future that I want. I want to be able just to fall asleep at the wheel and wake up on an alien planet full of cool aliens that 90% of them want me dead, and like 99% of the planet does too. It had been a rough 48 hours, you know? A lot of escaping and running and punching and stealing of high-powered vehicles. Yes, of course. I understand. All in a day's work. She stops you at most intersections so she can take surreptitious. It's hard to believe I'm an old man. I can't read. Glances around the corner before gesturing you forward. Every so often she'll turn the two of you around to double back. You aren't exactly sure why. Maybe she thinks you are being followed? Wait, this could be good. But who would follow you from a cafe? All sorts. But don't worry. I know how to shake off a tail. You cross one of the main thoroughfares, and a big black bird swoops at your head. You yelp and duck, but when you look around, you see that the bird has lanced on Boulder's arm, and she's stroking its back. You brace yourself for it to start talking or some shit like that, because that's what your life is like now. But it just sticks its leg out for Boulder to remove a scrap of paper. It waits patiently for her to read the message and then scribble something on the back before attaching it to the crow and throwing it back into the air. Man, that's some Harry Potter ass shit. One of my informants wants to rendezvous in meat space. Unusual. But it has been an unusual day. Unusual couple of months, honestly. Yes, of course. You've had it much harder than I. What was I thinking? Well, you weren't trying to get into a contest of whose life sucks more. But yeah, it's been rough. You appreciate that she can see that. Of all the planets to be forced to, Alternia is, well, not ideal. Not the worst, but you still have my sympathies. Is there anything at all you like about it? What about Alternia? Well, you're kind of digging this whole night as day thing. You're from a diurnal species, but you've always be a bit more of a night owl. Also, not to brag, but you've made some seriously cool friends. Yes, I've been following your exploits. Your friendship acquisition procedures are really quite impressive. Ah, now you're blushing. You ask Boulder how she knows that much about your exploits, because it's only pretty recently that you've had any sort of real social media presence. You suppose she could have a Gorgle alert like Malik did, but quick around here. No. Boulder leads you into a deserted lot between two buildings. There's nothing here except for some broken bottles and a pile of old rubber tires. She leaves you behind the tire pile to keep watch. Although she is probably just doing it to get you out of the way, which is fair. Then she heads out into the center of the lots, presumably to wait for her contact. You sit here twiddling your thumbs, trying to suppress the desire to pull out your phone. That doesn't seem very covert ops. You're just starting to get really antsy, jittering your leg and cracking your knuckles and digging a little hole in the dirt with a stick. When you hear something strange beneath the wind, a swish, followed by a thunk. Boulder jerks and clutches her neck. You writhe up from your rubber pile. Sending tires flying, you look wildly at the surrounding buildings, trying to find out where that projectile came from. You don't see anyone, not even a lone gunman. You run for your new friend, not spending a thought for your own safety. The clouds move overhead like someone has put them on fast forward, the wind rattling the trash on the pavements. By the time you reach Boulder, she has begun to twitch in hard spasms. One look at the blotchy stain spreading across her neck, and there's no doubt. You both say at the same time, poison. You fall to your knees beside her. Oh God, what are you supposed to do? You don't know anything about poison or first aid or anything useful. God, why are you such a fucking waste of space? You could have been gaining some life skills instead of just loafing around like a complete idiot. You stop. Don't. There isn't time. This stuff acts fast. Boulder takes hard, gasping breaths between each word. Her eyes are going cloudy. She makes a desperate grab for your hands. Listen. For the first time, her voice rises above a whisper. Her grip is surprisingly strong. You tell her to save her strength, but she shakes her head so hard her hat falls off. It's not important. You tell her to stop being dramatic. Of course she's important. I'm not being dramatic. Well, maybe a little because I'm dying. But still, remember what I said about fate. Fuck fate. Don't want anything to do with it if this is the kind of shit it's going to pull on you. So many of your friends have died because of you. Because of your incredible inability to do. The world twists and strutters. Your guts are a record, and that record is skipping. For a moment, you're sure that whoever that poison shooting bastard is has shot you too. But then your vision clears, and you feel the rain on the back of your neck, the world rolling back to you in waves of color and sound. The dark sky splits open on a fault line of lightning. Boulder's hand goes limp in your own. With shaking fingers, you reach out to touch her motionless cheek. Neck. Fuck. Fuck. Not again. Why? An uncontrollable wave of despair washes over you as you look down at the corpse of this girl you barely know. Where are all these feelings coming from? There's honestly too many of them. Why are they? Oh my god. Holy fuck. There's no words for this one. Again? Must I do everything myself? Okay. Okay, I figured there'd be more since there was no words. Okay. No, sorry, no. Never mind. That's interesting. Oh, I could have just went backwards. I'm an idiot. Was this the only choice I made between there and then? I think so. Sure, let's do crime. The whole mess started with a theft of a spaceship. And if Boulder is right about all that fate horseshit, that was supposed to happen. So, you think about mentioning that walking around in a great big coat and floppy hat is not the most unobtrusive thing you've ever seen. But you aren't the expert here. Also, you're an alien, so you don't really have room to talk. Maybe you should get a big coat like that yourself. You just love ripping looks off all your friends. Boulder takes you through the basics of criminal sleight of hand, and on the whole, you aren't too bad. In fact, you think you might have a future in it if you weren't already on the career path of professional friendshipper. You don't know what this has to do with her learning about you or teaching you your place on Alternia, but it's fun, and Boulder is a good teacher. If there's one thing this journey has taught you, it's that when something isn't actively painful or destructive, just ride it out. You don't think you'll be going around pickpocketing many trolls, enough of them already want to kill you, but it's good to have this skill on reserve if you ever need cash fast and don't feel like hitting up any of your rich friends. You wonder if Boulder uses it for anything besides passing notes. My susses tell me you've been on Alternia for almost 3 purges now. You have no idea how long a purgy is, but what the hell? Sure. Impressive. No wonder. She trails off thoughtfully and shakes her head. You wish she would say something with some substance to it, instead of vague nonsense. But at least she isn't threatening you with violence or trying to stick wires into you, so you're counting this interaction successful so far. Also, you feel weirdly chilled out with Boulder. Sure, you want to be friends. Well, there's none of that stomach-churning, spine-bending desperation to make sure she likes you, at whatever the cost. You feel more awake. Oh, my bad. You feel more awake than you have in weeks, Man, you've got to learn to pickpocket in a garden behind a cafe more often if this is what it does to your stress levels. Want to get something to eat? Or maybe just a coffee, because that's what they serve here. Sure, you could use another caffeinated beverage on top of the other caffeinated beverage you had earlier. Why not? You'll sleep when you're dead. If only. Oh. You follow her out of the garden and back into the cafe.
Who is this now? Yet another friend.
Oh, our data, you're still here.
Of course I am, fool. You were back there for about 10 minutes.
10 minutes? Wow. It felt like way longer than that. Guess you underestimated the power of a good training montage. You introduce our data to Boulder with a cheerful earnestness of someone who has forgotten the systematic classism of the planet on which they currently reside. Our data stops you with an aristocratic sneer.
Stop. Before I have to stop you myself. I have absolutely no desire to mix with those so low on the social ladder. What in the world could she have to offer me?
You shrug. Not sure. Maybe friendship? You know, friendships between people of different castes are possible. You've seen them happen. Regardless, you feel bad for exposing your newest friend to the vaguely nonsensical abuses of your oldest. You turn back to Boulder to apologize and find her gazing coolly at our data like she could do it all night. There's none of the fear or reverence or false obedience you've seen other low-bloods display to blues. Instead, Boulder looks at our data like she's a bug. Or worse, a pebble that she would just love to kick out of the way.
Nice to meet you in person, Miss Carmia. I hear your GrubTube channel has been losing subscribers recently. I wonder why that is.
Blue hits our data's cheeks in angry flush.
I'm currently on hiatus. The old garbage was getting tired. I have so many imitators that my own content is starting to be derivative.
She gives one of her maniacal laughs, but it's a little less robust than usual. Man, that the wild tundra of internet fame really is a stark, arid battleground. Fuck. She's so good.
In fact, I have a new feature in the works as we speak.
She holds up the little vial she's been haggling with the cash register over earlier.
Poison. I think the best and most expedient process would just be to dose my featured guest's food and then hide the antidote somewhere in my hive. Unless you have another idea.
She smiles, sly and mean. Ooh, Boulder smiles back, just as vicious.
Ooh, shit. Great. Have fun with that.
Oh, fuck. What you do, Boulder? While Boulder talks, her eyes start flickering from you to our data, then down again, then down, again and again, you, our data, and down. It takes a couple of go-rounds before you realize what she is telling you. She keeps looking down to your hands, which are stuck in your hoodie pocket, exactly where you found the notes Boulder slipped you. Our data is carrying a bag that looks expensive and extremely goth, and you can see where the vial of poison is sticking out. Oh man, you know what you have to do.
Oh shit.
When a group comes into the shop and pushes past the three of you, you move in on our data and slip a hand into their bag, palming the smooth, cold vial. She gives you a weird look, like you are. Like, why are you suddenly all up on me, peon? But she doesn't notice the theft.
I suppose I'll be going now. And if I were you, I'd be more mindful of who I choose to associate myself with in the future.
You say bye to her, feeling the tiniest bit guilty. But she's planning to use this poison to do murder theater in her prison basement, so you don't feel that bad.
Take care now.
Ardetta leaves and Boulder takes an inquisitive step closer.
Psst, show me.
You open your hand to display the spoils, flushed with criminal euphoria. Oh hell no. You grabbed the wrong fucking vial. This one is blue, not the red. You grabbed the antidote, not the poison. God. You honestly thought you were moving past these kinds of cock-ups.
Oh. Damn. Well, at least you have the antidote now. You never know when one of those might come in handy.
Ugh. Wow, so quick. She sways forward and clutches at her neck. For one confused second, you think she's doing an impression of someone who might need an antidote, then falls to her knees. You dart forward and catch her before she can totally eat it. She's heavier than she looks, compact muscle in a coat full of an ungodly number of weapons. She's like 4 guns in here. What the hell? Your arms are full. You can only watch, helpless, as a troll in a hood that covers their face and their horns books it out the door. You shout that some fucker just stabbed your friend, but nobody here is looking at you. Hello, Lates. I'm Professor Bird. It's the same way people on Earth might ignore a mother trying to calm a toddler throwing a tantrum, just turning their eyes away from a distasteful public scene.
Ow. Damn it.
You put a hand up to Boulder's neck to try to staunch the bleeding. But there isn't any bleeding. Bewildered, you pull apart the lapels of her coat to see a single drop of olive blood trembling above her collarbone. This coloration spreads into a dark spill over her neck and radiating down her chest. You both say it at the same time.
Poison.
You open your hand to look at the tiny blue vial, then back at Boulder. Her eyes are glassy, her skin going blotchy and ashen. There is no reason to believe that Ardata's poison and the poison the assassin used are the same, with the same antidote. It already strains the powers of coincidence that you grab the antidote at all.
You're probably right, but maybe you should try it anyway. I can't feel my legs.
Right. Maybe the mere fact that this is such an unlikely happenstance means it will be the right antidote. Everything you've done so far has had the pull of inevitability to it, especially all of your interactions with Boulder.
Great. Awesome. I'm glad you're realizing your inherent significance to this particular microcosm of causation. Now, can you please pour that stuff in my mouth so I can swallow it and possibly not die?
You help Boulder tip her head back and put the vial to her lips. At the last minute, you wonder if it's supposed to be diluted, but Boulder gulps the whole thing down and immediately begins to shake. Fuck. Smoke billows out of her nostrils and open mouth. And holy shit, what is going on? This doesn't seem like any type of antidote to you. But then the smoke clears and Boulder opens her big yellow eyes. How does she feel?
Alive. Marginally.
She lets you help her to her feet. You immediately pull her into a fierce yet gentle hug. It's wild to undergo someone else's near-death experience. You feel like you know her better than one montage scene's worth. Another new friend. Oh, not so tight. You ease up a little. All the tea sippers are staring at you now. Death apparently isn't interesting, but the possibility of some quadrant adjacent stuff, they are suddenly all about. Okay. Sorry, assholes. Just you and your new friend, sharing a touching post-near fatal encounter. Nothing to see here. Didn't die. Let's go. Hell yeah, we did it. Oh my god, didn't die. Dubski. Oh my god. Alright. Boulder. That was Boulder. I didn't expect a Boulder a little bit. I expected a little bit different. Threw me off. Okay. Friendship. Okay, I'm gonna turn the keys off. That's distracting me. Sorry, I'm sorry. The keys have to go. It's kind of evil to do that. Okay. Stealth says yet? Something like that. Boom. Boom. I'm sorry. Oh, it's raining. Ooh. Okay, so it turns out stealing a car was easily one of your better impulse decisions. You've gotten accustomed enough to its weird insides by now that the squishiness doesn't much faze you anymore. It still feels like the warm stomach of some giant creature, but you actually find it kind of comforting. You can just let yourself get enveloped by the seat while the autopilot does its thing. I forgot how quiet the world is without the keys. It's peaceful a little bit. Getting ferried through the streets of Alternia with your feet up on the dasher beats endlessly pounding the pavements. Sometimes you even throw Sarava's stream on your phone if you really want to get the chill vibe going. You're surprised you haven't been caught yet. Dastardly carjacker that you are. But maybe you're just a better thief than you've always thought. A possible career change to look into if you ever get back to Earth. The downside is that it's a little difficult for you to further your goal of gathering even more friendship from the inside of a vehicle. So, you'd park the scuttle buggy and expose yourself to the menace of the outside world once more. You're in what looks like some sort of residual neighborhood. It isn't as nice as the blue blood neighborhoods you've seen, but still nice enough for most of the apartment complexes to have imposing locked front gates and security drones. But of course you can't take a leisurely stroll on Alternia without something terrible happening. You aren't out of here for very long before it starts raining shit, damn, and fuck. You ditched the umbrella Tyrona? One of those I said. Had given you, since it was as heavy as a goddamn club. But now you're super regretting it. Running for shelter is all you can do, so you make a mad dash for one of the building's awnings, huddling uncomfortably underneath it. The rain doesn't let up. You'll have to move soon. The security drones are beginning to look like they're planning on taking a few shots at you for loitering. You need to make a decision, and fast. Try to get into one of these buildings. There's no way you're getting into any of these without a passcode, but wait. You think you see someone coming your way. Perhaps it'll be your knight in shining armor. Oh.
So, you're telling me this is. You're telling me. So, what you're telling me is that my appointment is cancelled.
You're still some distance away, but she's looking right at you. You point at yourself questioningly, thinking she might be talking to you. But then you realize she's wearing a Bluetooth headset.
Jerome used to be so on the ball, remembering the time he gave me a full prong beautifying procedure right after that high blood ripped his arm off.
Fuck, okay.
But now he can't bounce back from one little thresher in the abdominal sausage. What happened? That boy is losing his touch.
Looks like she's coming back from a jog. If the running shorts are anything to go by, if she's at all bothered by the acid glancing off her skin, sending dozens of little firecracker sparks in their wake, she isn't showing it. She seems much more preoccupied by the hurried conversation she's having on the phone. Most importantly, she's power walking to the entrance of this building, which must mean she lives here. This is your chance. You shuffle along under this awning, press yourself close to the side of the building, bug-like. You sort of wish she encountered you earlier, when you were dodging rain like a rad action hero. Now you just look sort of a cowardly and pathetic. Oh my god. Especially compared to her. She's striding along like absolutely nothing is gonna get in the way of whatever business she's got going on, let alone a few paltry explosions. Actually, she's so focused on her call that she doesn't notice you until you're standing right next to her.
Such an inconvenience. You can't fully expect.
I need something different.
Such an inconvenience. That's an inconvenience. You can't fully expect that I will be taking my business elsewhere from now on. Oh my, what do we have here?
She transitions from hanging up the call to talking to you so quickly that it makes your head spin.
Take this down. Strange little hornless creature parked in front of my home, very puny and scared looking. Can only be the alien everyone has been talking about. Such an opportunity can't go to waste now, can it?
You're confused again, looking around to see who she might be talking to. But there's nobody else here. Maybe she's dictating notes to her phone?
Look at you. We can't have you wandering around outside like this, darling, can we? Aren't you ravishing? Do give me the name of your stylist. So good to meet you. Here's my card. The name's Stelsa. Zayat says yet. Auditorizer. In training for the Alternian Empire. Nice to meet you. So let's walk and talk.
You didn't realize that borrowed hoodie was that impressive of a look, but okay. She reduces a business card with one hand and inputs some numbers into a panel with the other. You take the card. It's a struggle to process what she's saying. Respond to her questions and introduce yourself, all while experiencing the verbal equivalent of getting hit by a truck. How is it possible to talk so fast without taking a breath? You can barely get a word in edgewise. Stelsa continues chattering away as she steps inside and waves for you to follow her into the apartment building's elevator. You do.
So, tell me, do you run any businesses on your planet? If you do, I would be more than happy to offer my services. They are very efficient and affordable, I can assure you. All your legal and financial documents will be checked over in no time. I'll make sure everything is running at tip-top shape. I'm so happy to have run into you. Ever since Zizi told me she met you, I've been asking her to introduce me. It's so important for a professional to continue growing her network, especially intergalactically, don't you agree?
She's still busying herself with her phone while talking to you, texting on its tiny keyboard now. The name ZZ doesn't ring any bells. You flip through the Rolodex in your brain, trying to remember. Have you really made so many friends that you're beginning to forget their names? You're a little impressed with yourself. I feel like it feels like only yesterday that you were crawling around in the basement of a murderess and getting stabbed in the shin with a screwdriver. Just a single friend to your name. Good times. You've come so far since then. It brings a single sentimental tear to your eye. Wait. Stelsa's own name finally starts to register. You've heard it before. This is Tyzeus' mate sprit, so she must have been talking about Tyzeus.
Murderous stabbing. Very fascinating. Stuff I'm sure. Yes, I'm referring to my darling Theseus, of course.
You're at the door to her hive. She unlocks it, letting you both in. Oh, that's good. Wait, hold on. Damn. Watcha. Ow, I hurt my foot earlier. Ow. Healthy Yuri. I don't think Yuri can technically exist in their culture. I don't think it's applicable. I don't think our terms are applicable in this sense. I'm gonna die on that one. Wow. She's peak, I guess. Oh.
Come in. Welcome to Chezzet's. Make yourself at home. Can I get you anything? Water, grub cake, my rate sheets. I would love to continue our chats while I'm a little less sweaty. Also, acid wreaks absolute havoc on your skin. You know how it is. I'll just jump into the ablution trap for a minute. Please excuse me. Won't be long. Back in 2 shakes of a quack beast gastric evacuation pillow.
That's a... Please excuse me. Won't be long. Back in 2 shakes of a quack beast gastric evacuation pillow. Okay. What the fuck? Okay. In 2 shakes of a quack beast gastric evacuation pillow. That's such an... Okay. Actually, you wouldn't know how it is, considering that a bucket load of acid falling on you would leave you either very injured or very dead, and she's already gone. Boom. Okay, let's see this fucking room, dude. Sheesh. Damn. You're a little relieved. It's not that Stelsa isn't friendly. She's plenty friendly. She just approaches friendship in a different, in a way that makes you feel a little like a line on her to-do list that she's in a hurry to check off. Or, well, she seems like she wants you as some sort of work contract, not a friend, but that's okay. You've worn many hats in the pursuit of friendship: clown cultist, impromptu shushpapper, murder accomplice. Business associate is one of the tamer ones on the list. It's not that the concept is alien to them, anyways. Okay. It's not that the concept is alien to them, anyways. Okay. Fuck. Sorry. I gotta focus. I hurt my foot while sleeping, and it's actually just constantly in pain. I don't know why. Oh, I figured it was the Yuri. Oh no, I did that again. Oh, no, actually, I still kind of like that. Actually, I'm gonna keep that now. Oh, huh. Oh, oh, now that oh, now that you no longer have to keep up with her mile-a-minute conversation, you take a proper look around her hive. Oh. You're not sure what's more perturbing, the sheer amount of pink that's accosting your eyeballs, or the fact that everything is so painstakingly organized that it's making you a little uncomfortable. It's like you merely standing here is disrupting the careful order of the room. Her shelves are crammed full of books, all neatly arranged according to topic, with each topic displayed on a little label on each shelf. She also has a lot of posters featuring motivational slogans underneath striking nature photography. The only normal looking spot in the hive is a coffee table with a mishmash of personal belongings piled on top of it. Books, papers, a jacket. You think that might be a mug? This actually is a fucked up picture. Wait. That's a fucking... It's a baby. Oh my god. Oh my god. None of those items strike you as being particularly Stelsa style. The overall effect is that of a very pink, very neat office cubicle. You almost feel like you should start chugging mediocre coffee and complaining about how much you hate Mondays.
Sorry I've kept you waiting.
Stelsa reemerges, her hair wrapped in a towel.
Well, it's been a blast getting to know you. We should get lunch sometime. Keep the conversation going. I'll pencil you in, darling. But for now, I have a bit of a dilemma to deal with.
That sounds worryingly like a dismissal. You sneak a glance at the schedule on her bulletin board. It's a blaze of color with barely any free slots. You don't want to be penciled in. You have no idea when she might be available next, and you need her sweet friendship now. Man, whatever problem she has is something you could help with.
Unless you are a ludicrously talented beautician. I think not. My usual place bumped me up their list, and right now before a very important meeting too. A girl has to look her best for these things to really knock their socks off. If I want to make arrangements at another salon, I shall have to move fast, no time to waste.
Who needs a beautician when I'm around? Oh shit. You have absolutely no professional beauty experience. But Sarava did give you that crash course in crafting great looks. Stelsa's probably after a vibe that's a little less moisture wave. But you're sure you can whip something up. You tell her that you'll help her get ready instead, right here in her hive.
Oh, how nice of you. I've never had a house call before. Let's do this.
Oh shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. What is this for? She leads you into the next room, rubbing her hair dry as she goes. There's a Recupera-kun in one corner and a vanity in the other, with an array of puffs? I don't know how to pronounce that. Brushes and other mysterious implements spread out on its surface. Some of them are disturbingly pointy. Oh well, you're sure you'll be able to figure out what what they're all for once you start using them. Stelsa takes a seat in the chair in front of the vanity, folding her hands firmly in her lap.
So, darling, what do you think we should do first? It's all up to you.
Not this again. Why are you always making all the decisions around here? What you wouldn't give to be able to foist your own life choice off on random people you've just met. It would be refreshing. Polish horns? Style the hair. We gotta style the hair. The first order of business should be drying Stelsa's hair. You pick up a funnel-shaped doohickey that looks like it might be a hairdryer, fumbling around for a button. There isn't one, but you manage to turn it on by giving it a good squeeze. The mouth of the funnel opens wide, emitting a hot blast of air along with a hoarse animal yell. You think you might actually see teeth inside. Just don't think about it too much. That's the best you can do when it comes to literally any Alternian gadget. Thankfully, the noise soon fades into a low hum.
Here, use this.
Stelsa passes you a piece of thorny bramble. It looks painful. But when you began brushing Telsa's hair, she sighs happily.
Interesting being in this position for once. When Theseus is over, I'm the one doing this.
You try to imagine Theseus letting someone give her a sweet do. Even when it's her girlfriend in question, you have a hard time picturing it. Stelsa laughs. She has a surprisingly pretty, musical laugh.
No. My dear Susie isn't one for involved beauty rituals. She usually doesn't let me do more than just brush it, but it's still relaxing.
Sliding the brush through Stelsa's hair is pretty relaxing. You allow yourself to zen out for a moment before shaking yourself out of it, casting around for something to talk about. That's what good hairdressers do, right? Strike up casual conversation? Your eyes fall on an open book sitting on the table. It's the only object there that doesn't have anything to do with the hair, care, or beauty, so it stands out like a sore thumb. Just like the items on the coffee table, it's strewn too haphazardly to look like it belongs to Stelsa. You think you see some of the tabs Theseus was using on the notes for a group project. This is also peak. And if you look even closer, you think you catch the words revolt in history in the page header. Right. As Theseus' mate spirit, Stelsa probably has big plans for dismantling the system from the inside too, after she becomes an auditor. Remark that you think it's really cool what she and Theseus are doing. It might be scary to stick it to the man like that, but someone has to do it. Okay, it's not exactly light conversation, but talking to Theseus about this had been so enlightening, if sad, and you'd really bonded over it. Maybe you should be able to bond with Stelsa the same way. But Stelsa only looks confused. Then her eyes flick down to the book just for a second before she reaches out, smartly snaps it shut, and squirrels it away in one of the drawers. The sound of the drawer slamming makes you jump, and you narrowly avoid pulling Stelsa's hair.
I'm quite sure I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not sticking anything anywhere. Definitely not to any man. And neither is Theseus.
She's sitting straight and tense in the chair, now her voice soaring to a high bordering on hysterical pitch. Oh no. She probably doesn't know you're on their side. Theseus might not have told her about your conversation. It's okay. You're not going to tell anyone. You're sworn to secrecy. But Stelsa averts her eyes, a stubborn set up to her chin.
Again, I have no idea what you're talking about, not a single clue. Theseus and myself are both law-abiding subjects of the Empire. We don't dabble in such foolish things as sympathizing with rebels.
What would that possibly accomplish? She wrings her hands distractedly.
We do things the way we do an alternative for a reason, darling. Without the hemospectrum and the roles we each need to play, why? The world would be plunged into complete chaos. Can you even imagine? Trolls running around, not knowing which way is up, doing whatever they please, no one to tell them their place in the world is.
She goes from hand wringing to gesticulating wildly, almost knocking a row of jars off the table, positively frantic at the prospect of societal breakdown.
It's better for everyone this way. I truly believe that.
You're beginning to realize that you might have put your foot in your mouth. Just a little bit. Stuffed a toe or two in that gob of yours. Maybe she sounds way too earnest for this to be a cover-up. Could it be possible that Stelsa really doesn't side with what had Theseus called her? The contents? And that she doesn't know about Theseus' underground research after all? But the book was right there. You're so confused. Talking about this is clearly distressing Stelsa's, though. You drop it, focusing on finishing up her hair instead. It's pretty soft now that it's dry. You're not sure you've styled it correctly, but she seems pleased.
Great work. Fantastic. You did an excellent job.
You glow at the praise. You'd say thanks, but she's already passing you a bottle of nail polish. Surely wants to go all the way, huh? You twist it open and get to work. You're too focused on not smudging the teal color over the stately points of her claws to talk, but Stelsa breaks the silence.
I have a question for you.
You nod, sticking your tongue out in concentration.
I have this acquaintance.
This is the most tentative you've heard her so far. You weren't sure her vocal cords were capable of it.
They are in a quadrant with someone who harbors views most would consider subversive, if not outright treasonous.
She's obviously talking about herself and Theseus, but you wouldn't want to point that out in case she gets upset again. So you just nod along, thoughtfully.
She didn't always. The matespert, I mean. It will blow over at some point. She must just be going through a difficult phase. But in the meantime, she could get into, so much trouble.
Stelsa's lower lip wobbles like she's about to cry. You chew on the inside of your cheek, trying to figure out what to say. Talking to Theseus very much did not leave you with the impression that this was that it was a phase. She sounded pretty serious. Does Stelsa's friend have any idea that this is going on? She looks at the drawer. So do you.
Nope.
You resist the urge to massage your temple. No idea at all.
Absolutely not.
All right, okay, you can do this. A good first step might be for her friend to face up the issue, if there's the chance they have the tiniest inkling about what might be happening, so the two of them can talk about it.
Talk about it?
Yeah, you're no expert, but one discussion probably helps with relationship problems quite a bit.
Plus,
you ruminate to yourself. The more you think about it, the less it seems that Theseus leaving her controversial book out like that was an accident. It was right in front of Stelsa's chair, after all. Maybe Theseus wanted Stelsa to see it. You'd slicked the last bit of color into Stelsa's pinky claw a while ago, but you're both too wrapped up in the conversation to suggest that you'd move on to something else. She lets the polish dry while the two of you continue to talk.
But my friend does not agree with her mate's sentiments. Discussing it would cause unnecessary friction, wouldn't it?
Maybe. But even so, addressing the issue is probably better than pretending it isn't there. Besides, quadrant mates can coexist regardless of differing beliefs, right? Yeah, you don't sound convincing even to yourself, but that platitudes seems to comfort Stelsa somewhat. Maybe you're right. Carefully, mindful of her just dried nails, she wipes away a few tears, much to your horror. Was that the wrong thing to say? But then you notice that she's smiling. I have not spoken about that to anyone before now. Telling you about it was truly a load off my bellow-sack cavity. I am certain my friend will be grateful as soon as I shall as well. I shall relay your advice accordingly as soon as I can. You smile back at her weakly. You haven't been able to relate to very much when it comes to Alternian life, but boy, you can relate to relationship drama, and trolls sure seem to have plenty of it. You hope everything turns out all right for her friend. Since her voice is all stiffly and her eyelash is still wet, you retrieve a frilly box of hand tissues and hold it out to her, hoping that will help. She pulls out a few and blows her nose on them with a sad honking noise. I should finish getting ready. She seems reluctant to get up, though. You'd probably be the same, knowing you had to head into a serious business meeting after spilling your heart like that. Experience emotions is tiring. Eventually, though, Stelsa musters up enough energy to get to her feet. Much to your surprise, instead of immediately rushing off to complete her next pre-meeting task, she pulls you into a tight hug. Thank you. You're a real friend. Oh my god. And there it is. Not a colleague, not potential client, but that wonderful friendship word. Oh, shit. Friends forever. Oh my god. We did it. We're friends. Oh my gosh. Will I be able to go back far enough? Wait, can I go back? Oh, okay, I don't want to be able to reach this one. Polish the horns. Oh, seems a little much. Seems weird. You pick up a velvety piece of cloth, bringing it up to Stelsa's head. There's only one thing this can be for, right? Wait. What are you going to do with that? Polish her horns to impressive sheen, of course. They'll be positively gleaming by the time you're done with them. She grabs your wrist with one hand before you can do so. She's deceptively strong, holding you in such an ironclad grip that you can't move your arm at all. You'd been low-key admiring her toned arms earlier, but now you know for some of that, the rack of hot pink dumbbells in the living room aren't just for show. Instead of looking pleased with what you propose to do, she looks uneasy, possibly even a little embarrassed. Polish my... You barely get a glimpse of her discomfited expression. Discomfited? Before she graces you with another friendly smile, albeit a bit of a strained one. You know, I think I'm having second thoughts. It's reasonable to expect that an alien like you wouldn't know the first thing about troll grooming habits. My mistake, I should have accounted for such cultural differences. But it's quite alright. I shall figure something else out. Is it just you? Or was there a pointed pause before? Cultural differences? She's getting up again. Wait, what's happening? You thought you two were going to bond over a sweet makeover session, but she's pushing you back into the main area of her hive, pretty forcefully too. Thank you for offering to help, dear. So very kind of you, but I'll manage. Great to meet you. Just wonderful. Call me. Take care. Have a nice life. Toodles. Goodbye. Oh my god. She shoots you another lovely yet very clearly fake smile and shoves you out the door. You'll be able to wait out the rain and just fine in this hallway. But being sprawled on your ass on Stelsa's welcome mat All by your lonesome just isn't the same as hanging with a new friend. Uh, game over? Oh my gosh. I'm a fraud. I'm a fraud. And I didn't save it all. No, I didn't get melted by acid or whatever was gonna happen, I guess. Wait, how do I? Main menu. Start. Bum, bum, bum. Ba-da-da-dun-dun. Oh, fuck. Damn. Friendship, blah, 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 blah. Yes. Ba-da-da-da. Click, 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 click. Tap, tap, tap. Run back to the scuttle buggy. It's parked a ways down the street, but if you run fast enough, you might be able to make it. You abandon the security of the metal awning, launching yourself back into the minor apocalypse that is regular Alternian weather. You should have been able to guess how this was going to go. The raindrops are too dense for you to successfully dodge them all, and your delicate human body isn't built to withstand nuclear ass rain. You probably would have had better luck with the security drones. Oh shit. Well, that did, okay. Damage is okay. They wasn't playing with that one. Okay. Okay. Before I continue with this, I'm gonna click this to cut music. This is a dark world. Bum bum bum. Ba da da dun. Ba da 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 dun. Da da dun dum. Pew pew. Gun noise. I, I felt like I felt like it was a proper thing to say. Okay. Uh, thank you, thank you. Uh, Hold on. Okay. I made a YouTube post about this thing, but this person's caught my attention for burning the house down. They've caught my attention. I think that's Arania. Yeah. Click that. Uh, did I click that? I guess I did click it. Yeah. I'm scared to read anything on this one, but it's caught me. It's caught me a little bit. Go to sponsored comics. I believe these are like fan comic you pay if you're a patron you can do these. You need to read that later. Okay. Uh, my iconic brooch. I'm scared. Wait, my iconic. Is this way? Is this their website? Wait, huh? Okay. What is Fruip is from? What is this website? I guess it's like it's a fan comic website. It's an official site. Okay. Team. Oh, so this person is part of the web development of it. Okay. Uh, okay. Yeah, 'cause I believe this person's part of the Vast Air team. I think that's how I found them was vast air. Uh, what is it? I think I found. Okay, what was it? I was on vast airs. What is it? I went to their Patreon. Is that what I went to? Yeah, I went to their Patreon for a second and looked at their recommendations. Vast Air's Peak. Yeah. And they recommended this. And that's how I found them. Because this caught my attention. Oh, you're years behind. Oh. Ow, my foot. Yeah. Oh. Enter the spider zone. You're in the spider zone. Exits are north and west. Bart? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Pizza reviews? In October 2016, I made a post in which I claimed that pineapple pizza was good. This was untenable. And immediately, my good friend Nico bought me pizzas that she claimed were better than pineapple pizza. And in the interest of transparency, I've ranked these pizzas. The JPEGs of these pizzas were free, but the cost was unimaginable. These pizzas are gnarly, messy, rough. Viewer be aware. You're in for a scare. I waive my right to an appetite and wishes these pizzas. Oh, my off button doesn't work for the whatchamacallit. Oh my god. Okay, I gotta screen these pizzas here. Okay, these aren't the worst I've ever seen. Okay. Wait. 11 out of 10. S tier. Let's go. Okay. Oh, wait. Interesting. It's just hard to think of a good way to improve it. It's the yeah. It really is. I think the actually the best way to improve a pineapple pizza is not to do pineapple chunks, but you do like pineapple like slices, like of like this. What's it called? The circles, not spirals. Pineapple. Is it just slices? Yeah, pineapple slices are peak on pizza. Like, I don't. If I do that, will it just pull up the picture? It does. Oh, it pulls up this picture. Okay. Like, you put this shit on pizza. You do this, and you're not like getting, and it's like more of a consistent pineapple bite every slice, and that is good pizza. Damn. Well, you got to learn to appreciate the pineapple pizza. It's everything you need. Gosh. Fuck, pineapples are so good. I respect the choice to abstain. Wow. This is great pizza, though. This is great. Like, oh my god. Slices make it way better. Uh, huh? Soup pizza? Party cut pizza is how you cut a pizza, though. So, well, maybe it's different. The bites I've made pizza rolls. Oh, maybe a pizza roll. Probably even more. Interesting. Okay. I like this. I like this. Okay. Shit. Wait. Did I open up their. What's their music recommendation? The Team Slice recommendation playlist. All music is pulled from one collective playlist maintained by the Team Slice Discord server. This page is automatically updated every day at 7 a.m. Well, your page is dead these days. Dobbies? What's a dobby? Oh. Uh, It's just yeah. I understood that after seeing this. But then give Dobby a sock. Wow. Okay. Webbering and Caves of Hell. Whoa. It's not done. This page is best viewed on Netscape 1.0. I'm thinking, Hail Satan. This site is hentai free. Looking for it? Leave. Animal Crossing cheat codes. Have you heard of the story of you don't like skeleton hell? Then fuck you. I don't know. I don't know what this is. I guess I haven't. Ratatouille 2? Something would be an ARG. This is what the internet should always be. I'm okay with this. Huh. Huh. If you're unfamiliar with Ratatouille 1, here's the deal. Huh. A rat becomes a chef. Fuck. And treats a cook as a puppet and impresses a critic even though he's a rat. I know this one already, man. Okay. Tell me about Ratatouille 2. Okay, the chef rat from the first one is famous now, and he has many cooks to use as puppets, and people are lining up from around the world to eat at Ratatouille's restaurant. And there's a bunch of little mice looking to also become pro chef Ratatouille because, for the second time in history, a rat can become the master of lunch. But the problem with all the mice looking to become food guys is that there's only so many cooks to use as a puppet because most of them don't really talk to just any mice. They find out on the road unless the mice proves it knows how to cook first. And that's the tricky parts because they have tiny hands. They can't carry knives, etc., to dice the tomatoes. I forgot what happens for the rest of the story. Please try to remember. I'm gonna try really hard. Okay, I got it. Thank you. This is oh, okay. So it does limits. Thank you. Please continue. Okay, I'm intrigued by this. All right, I got what happens next. So all these mice are out there cooking all kinds of lunch to impress people who might not be cooks to latch onto their hair to follow their dreams of becoming a chef. But the mice don't know, and they keep grabbing onto office worker guys and everything. But a lot of people don't like their job very much, so they let the mice use them as puppets, as puppets, so they do the work while the mans are having a nap. But a chef mice doesn't know accounting, and all the financial business of the world is all messed up, except one mice. He wanted to be an accountant instead, and it's his job to solve the money. What was his name? Never thought I'd see a Ratatouille fanfic in your life, huh? Little Smrat Smart. Any other questions? That's a stupid name. Sorry. Ratatouille 3. Little Rat Smart is the accountant mice. This Ratatouille. Ah, wait. Oh, okay. Oh wait, I still got pulled up. Okay, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back again. I'll leave you with the keys again. The jingle jangle. There you go. Look at the keys. 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 Look at the Oh my god, dude, these keys are so distracting. Oh my god, keys, 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 keys. Oh my god. I could probably watch this for 10 hours, actually. Keys are nice. Is there like a, huh. Oh, I was looking for a 60 FPS key jingling, but I stream at 30, so it won't even make a difference. Wow. I wonder what split of my YouTube Premium this guy's gonna get. Yo, this guy's channel's dope. Oh wait, I'm sorry, Keys. I must remove you now. Oh. Oh, this is real? When I was in high school, I didn't have like internet or really like a cell. I guess I kind of had a cell phone at this point. I had a cell phone, kinda. Um, but I was technically in trouble with some family, so I didn't like do that. Wow, what is this? Dude, this guy also posted a video about paint drying. We probably have. This is much more interesting than paint drying. Man. I've watched paint dry. It wasn't. That's probably the most boring time of my life. It was the most entertaining thing I could have done at that time. That wasn't me, um, doing something fun, I guess, or going to school. Is this a loop? When's it loop? Did it loop? Or is this actually like 10? It can't be 10 hours, right? Because the sun would change. Loop must be every pretty quick, right? Wait. Whoa. Oh, this is gonna be a bad one. Ooh. Shit. Oh. Oh, that's good. Hold on. Okay, okay. You know what? Actually, damn. I'm subbing to this guy. Okay, okay. Little rat smart is the accountant mice. Ugh. Ugh. This ratatouille, toil, I don't know, is going to save the world of business. And the start is with getting a job as an actual accountant. He works really hard to get the money in order to get the money in order and solves the problem, but the stress of having the world's economy wears him down and becomes bitter and angry and not very pleasant to be around at all. Oh, yeah. Keep going. Well, basically, he manages to solve the world, but he dies of working too long hours and having too much stress. Also, having a tiny little rat heart probably didn't help either. But the point is, take it easy here. And there, even if the president is screaming at you, and oh, kind of sad. Oh my God, was this the only option? Oh my gosh. Tell me this Lion King. Oh, that's fair. Oh, okay. Oh, oh my gosh. Well, this is good. This is good. I mean, I guess I'm interested in what you're thinking about. Let me look at your friends' pages. Video game rumors. Oh, oh. Not. I won't read that one now. That one's. I want to read my own time. Like most Homestuck year 1 year later. Oh, what's that noise? Can we please focus? Oh, you're right. You're right. Okay. Okay. Oh, ciao. Let's get back to the. Let's get back to the whatchamacallit. Oh yeah, this person caught my attention though. It's kind of all I wanted to say, but then I ended up reading the Ratatouille thing. Recommend Pet Peta, funny comic man. Whatcha? Don't ask me this again. Close all. Okay, back to the game. The world is dark. Oh, this is a dark world. Both because it's nights and because of the brutal struggle for survival among its polyhemochromatic inhabitants, many of whom seem to thrive on havoc and carnage. You'd be interested to see the Michelin Guide entry for Alternia. You're convinced that after a day here, Ayn Rand would sign up with the Little Sisters of the Poor, Genghis Khan, and Atla, Attila? Oh, fuck me, I'm stupid. Attila the Hun would join the Quakers, and Adolf Hitler would seek membership in the World Peace Council. Phew. Godwin's law alerts. Feeling a little dramatic tonight. Oh shit. Dude, they're tiny. And there's no color. Oh. They're just adorable. Okay, Marsty Hutik. Let's see what you got, bud. Boom, 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 boom. Ooh. Ooh. Despite a certain sense of pervading existential gloom that you haven't managed to shake even after communing with a possible oracle/secret agent, you are feeling pretty alright. No more brooding in your cliffside apartment. You have a fresh thirst this evening, a thirst for friendship, is witchcraft. You're wandering around a neighborhood you haven't seen in a while, just a few blocks from where you crash landed. Maybe you'll go pay a visit to the crash sites of your ship, even though it's long since been stripped for parts by the local population. Or maybe you'll try to find Damon to say hi, though you're pretty sure he's still living in the nomadic shrubbery lifestyle. You're just here for the nostalgia, honestly. Malaise who? You hardly know her. Just then, from across the street, echoes two voices, raised in argument. Well, one is soft and murmuring, and one is loud and honking. A rust-blood girl and a purple-blood guy are squared off in front of a patch of graffiti that blooms over the bricks like moss. The girl appears to be in the process of scrubbing it away. There's a mop bucket and collection of sponges next to her. And I told you, this shit is sacred, motherfucking iconography. Iconography? I can't spell. I can't speak. I can't read. The purple blood is saying, so fuck the hell off, little red dumpling. The rust blood said something back that makes him laugh. The sacred iconography appears to be a collection of swear words and a couple colorful renderings of certain sections of troll anatomy you have not yet had the chance to explore. The girl with the bucket wrings her sponge out and stares the clown down. Oh. Well, you assume she's staring him down. She's wearing big round goggles to match the bright rubber gloves pulled all the way up to her elbows. Despite the mop bucket, she looks more like a scientist from a B-grade horror movie than a janitor. The purple blood doesn't have any visible weapons on him, but that doesn't make him look any less dangerous. And unless the girl has a blade in that mop handle, she's totally defenseless. You've faced this precise scenario more than once, but it doesn't get any easier. No matter how much self-confidence you earn or hardships you endure, life or death friendship decisions don't get any easier. Intervene. Who are you kidding? You were never going to leave her to fend for herself? It's against your religion of reflexivity and ceaselessly searching for new buddies. You aren't making excuses for it anymore. You've decided to take what Boulder said to heart and just resign yourself to your fate. Well, that isn't exactly what she said, but a lot of it was confusing and spooky. You are half convinced she was just doing it for the mysterious aesthetic. You stride confidently towards the altercation, calling out a challenge to the rogue clown. Nobody messes with those less fortunate while you are on the case. And since it's been resoundingly too long since you've had a truly ironic and hilarious twist of fate befall you, as soon as you step onto the sidewalk, the purple blood's fist connects with your head, and your head connects with the concrete. Gluck! Oh my god. Dude. Does he know who I'm friends with? Oh, wait. Shit. Dude, he don't know who I'm rocking with. I can't believe it. I got the big man on my side. So, careful with that. Mind your own business for once in your life. Listen, you aren't the goddamn alien special forces. You aren't the friendship police. You can't afford to insert yourself into the middle of every single altercation in hopes that the drunken gamble of destiny will offer up new and greater connections onto your sore, tired ad. You aren't made of goodwill alone. Everyone needs breaks, man. You march casually by, hands behind your back. If you knew how to whistle, you would. Nothing to see here, folks. I can't whistle. Feet smack the ground behind you and the girl runs by, surprisingly spry in the rubber boots. Not spry enough apparently, because the high blood is hot on her heels. Ugh. Nope. Not helping. Definitely not. Don't get involved. Don't get involved. You already made your choice. You are not getting involved. At least at the last moment you stick out one of your famous legs and the clown goes flying. He hits the pavement hard, nose first. Son of a bitch. There you went and got involved. The high blood might be kissing concrete, but that won't be for very long. It's tough to kill a clown. You take this opportunity to GTFO. Damn, you don't know anybody around here. Maybe you can run back to your stolen vehicle before. Obey. Hands grab you by the back of the hoodie, hauling you around the corner into the shadows of an alleyway. Shit, the clown must have friends, and those friends must have circled around behind you. You open your mouth to scream, not because you think anyone is going to help, but just because you might as well. If you can't go out fighting, might as well go out making as much noise and being as obnoxious as possible. A rubber gloved hand slaps over your mouth before you get out more than a squeak. You taste soap. Chill. Stop struggling. It's the Rust Blood girl. She's taken the time you bought her and cashed it in to take refuge in an alleyway. The two of you hold still as the purple blood storms by, stomping and cursing and bleeding from a gash across his forehead. You did that. Your leg did that. You will never get over the rush you received from doing something cool and competent. Marsted holds on to you until the sound of his footsteps fade. You feel her heartbeat hammering against your back. She lets you go and slides away to the other side of the alley, as if in apology for being so close to you before. Her boots squeak. You take a few steps nearer so you don't have to shout to be heard. You thank her for helping. You're both just all about helping. Apparently, decide not to mention the part where you try very hard not to get involved. Yeah. You didn't have to do that. Actually, you shouldn't have. I'm perfectly capable of tripping my own clowns. You tell her you have no doubt that's true. Even if she doesn't have a sword in her mop handle, she seems to have a good pair of legs. Mentioning her mop appears to remind her that she left all her cleaning equipment out on the street. She takes a furtive glance back down the way the guy had gone, then heads back towards the graffiti. You scamper to keep up. Hey, you shouldn't be out alone in a place like this. Not that I can really summon much gumption to take care beyond this one walk down the street. But you did come here to die, because that's what's going to happen if you keep this shit up. What's your deal? You don't know about your deal. You've worked really hard to not consider your deal at all, because the existential radio static that prickles at the base of your neck when you think about your deal is astoundingly unpleasant. Attempting to change the subject, you ask her if she maybe shouldn't get out of here while she has the chance. Is that bucket really that important to her? Marstia looks at you with a certain eyebrow raise. You're well accustomed to by now. Oh shit. Did you just put your foot in it again? Culture-wise? You wish you could find a book with a crash course on Alternia, or at least a decent... Wait. Oh, I At least a decent Wikipedia article. But it's not like there's any helpful Earth guide for idiots. At least, you've never heard of one. Besides, things are different depending on where you are on Earth. Geographically, you imagine it's the same for Alternia. You feel positively nauseated at the idea of having to learn a whole new set of societal norms. You'll just stay in this particular city. Thank you very much. Do I care about my bucket? That's kind of a weird way to phrase it. I care about it as much as the next person who doesn't want to get called. Also, scourdrays don't grow on Confurious fauna. She tosses and discards sponges back into the bucket. You bend down to help, but she stops you with a sardonic glance. Most of her glances are sardonic, but this one especially so. She goes back to work on the graffiti. If you're going to hang around, you could make yourself less useless. Watch and make sure that high blood doesn't come back. Oh yeah, for sure. You can totally do that. Of course, you won't be able to actually do anything if he comes back. Where's Ramela? When you need her. Maybe you could use your own limp corpse to slow the clown down? Not that you know Marsty well enough yet to love the idea of sacrificing yourself for her. Man, character development is great. Not immediately going to your death is great. That thought sends a creeping wash of anxiety along your spine. You don't understand it, so you try to distract yourself. You ask Marsty if she cleans graffiti or if she has other jobs. Okay, well, maybe not jobs. You know, nobody in Alternia has an actual job. Whatever, I'm feeling mostly. Today, I was feeling rid of this incredibly ugly piece of shit drawing. Tomorrow, I might be feeling dirty front doormats. Depends on my mood. Yeah, you get that. You are also a person of mercurial moods. You do seek out new friends tonight. Do you seek out new friends tonight? Or go to one of your standby pals? Sometimes the universe just sweeps in and decides for you. Yeah, well, you are extremely weird and focused on weird shit. But also kind of magnetic at the same time. It's freaking me out. Wow. Thank you. Marsty dunks her sponge back in her buckets. Or scoundrel? Right. Buckets are dirty. The drones don't make it down here very often. So there's a lot of shit to scrub. You tell her it's cool that she likes cleaning so much. Where you're from, physical labor is considered morally virtuous, but also kind of looked down on? Fuck. Maybe you could use an Earth cultural handbook of your own damn self. Your own damn self, Who said anything about liking it? Who made the rule that I can only do what I like? She slams the sponge down hard onto the scoundrel, getting water down the front of her apron. This is just what I do. What do you like, wandering around in someone else's hoodie? Accosting strangers? Kind of. Sometimes. You didn't choose the friend life. The friend life chose you. But Marsty isn't a stranger in a strange world like you are. She's got horns and gray skin and everything. You realize she's a rusty. But come on. Oh yeah. How many burgundies do you know exactly? Well, one. And he is interested in meats. But he's pretty enthusiastic about it. One might say over enthusiastic. You think I'm not enthusiastic? She scrubs harder to show you just how enthusiastic she can be. A delicate calligraphy-based rendering of the word globe gobbler disappears beneath her soapy hands. Okay, maybe Demon is not the greatest example of someone who enjoys their hobbies in a healthy and natural way, but you know plenty of other lowbloods with cool hobbies. Skyla, Tixie, Sarava. Am I supposed to know who these idiots are? Sarava's probably my least favorite character so far, to be honest. Not all lowbloods know each other. Oh man, that's not what you meant at all. I'm not going to explain my life story to some random alien. Are you going to help or not? Oh, well, you thought you're supposed to be keeping an eye out for the clowns. Yeah, well, instead you're asking me invasive questions. So now help me scrub. Despite these mixed signals, you pick up a sponge and start cleaning. This is actually a lot harder work than it looks like, and your back and shoulders begin to ache immediately. If Marcy does this every day, she must be ripped under that jacket. She stops talking, and you just clean alongside her, worried that you're royally screwing this up. You don't know how to fix it. The graffiti is quickly disappearing between your combined efforts, and you aren't sure how much longer she's going to put up with you after that. You've got to pull out your big friendship guns, and fast. You ask in your characteristically smooth style, "What's she doing after this? Any plans?" Just hypothetically. Who knows? Probably I'll just look for more shit to clean. Well, it just so happens you know a lot of dirty places. Just exceptionally filthy. Oh yeah. Where? What's uptown? I try uptown. It just so happens that you have connections. Uptown girls and boys. Yes, Marcy, how'd she like to clean a mansion? No. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. I like Marcy. I've seen chill fan art of her. Oh, I don't want her to go to this mansion. I guess that could be cool. What are you thinking? Oh shit. Wait. Shit. Oh dude. Oh fuck. There it is. Stickball. That's what it was called, right? Stickball? Is that what they called it? No, that can't be what they called it. What they call it? Was it stickball? Stickball? I don't know what it was called. I think it was stickball. Yeah, stickball. Yeah, HIVESWAP stickball. I looked up how much French rolls are popular compared to the Homestuck ones. I don't even know which Homestuck ones are popular. Arena stickball. Ah, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Oh, weird. I mean, the only thing that matters about characters and their popularity is if the characters I like that are popular, then it makes sense, and that's how it's meant to be. and people get it. Otherwise, everyone just doesn't understand a thing. Oh damn! Just the two colored bloods. Well, first of all, you want to bring your new friend to your swank stolen car. Marcy doesn't seem that interested, although she does comment that she's never been in a scuttle buggy. Oh shit. Damn. We winning. Then she begins picking up the crumbs from your back seat. You tell her she doesn't have to clean up after you. Bold of you to assume I'm doing it for you. You shrug. You've come to accept that some of your friends are just fundamentally difficult to understand. Some days you really think you're beginning to get it, and the next you remember that alien isn't just your immigration status. Marcy stares out the window as the house gets bigger and grander. I don't really care because popular characters get more cool fan art. You see that? That's why you need to start. You need to start spreading your agenda and make sure your characters become popular. That's why it's important to get into something early, so you can help guide the people to the correct opinions. It's important. It's a very important thing to do. Some people just need the extra push to know. The car passes beneath an archway and a light sweeps over the two of you. Marcy stiffens. You tell her not to worry. It's just a sensor to discern your blood color. Malik gave you a plug-in to scramble it. No stress. Spreading the word is important, yes. Nice to have friends in high places. Oh, it's a little tree, dude. It's a tree car. Tree car, whatchamacallit, dude. What are they just called little trees? Little tree car scent? I don't know what they're called. Yeah, little trees. Wait, I don't have my app open. I gotta open up my app. There we go. And then mode overlay selection. Was it overlay? Yeah, there we go. There we go. This is very important. Must be nice to have friends in high places. You ask Marcy where she lives. Wherever I feel like. Depends. So she's like, demon. Her hive was destroyed or possibly up a tree like Boulder. Although it's possible she was just fucking with you. I wish you'd stop comparing me to people like I should know what you're talking about. And no, my hive is fine. It just gets boring cleaning the same fucking building over and over again. You get... You get how that could be cool. Going from place to place like Demon goes for looking for meat and Connell and Daja look for people to kill. Everyone here seems to be weirdly obsessive and hyper-fixated. Maybe that's what happens when you bring up a bunch of kids in a robo-regulated world where the only rule is don't get culled, and by the way, some of you are inherently inferior. Have fun. As you get closer to Zebra's hive, you begin to get chilly strud pods. What if he tries to make Marcy into one of his guests? He has that weird thing for low bloods. You figure she'll be safe if she's with you, but you aren't always the best at making good decisions when you have more than one friend to deal with at once. The sight of Zebra's luscious glaring at you from an upstairs window clinches it. You can't take another condescending stare from Zebra's dad. Where are we going? I hope you weren't talking about this pathetic mess on the seats. Barely worth my time. You can make a better mess, you swear? Ah, no. I don't want a staged mess. Fuck. Okay. Who do you know who is kind of a slob, but also not a total piece of shit? Oh no. This one's okay. This one's better, right? But it's also like not better. How can I say it? It's better in a sense. I guess it's better in general. Doesn't have. Will it have as much like as much conflict as like the other one could? He is kind of an awkward fella. So maybe. But he's not creepy per se. Goat Dad lets you in with a hysterically happy bleats. Ah, missed you too, Goat Dad. Marcy weathers his snuffling and nuzzles, and when he tries to eat one of her rubber gloves, she scratches him behind the ear as a distraction. She gently removes the glove from his mouth. I need these, actually. You call out to Gaelic, but he doesn't respond. Maybe he's out. we just going in. Can't fumble all of them, I guess. The coffee pot is half full, but it's cold. Goat Dad bleats and butts you gently. Aw, poor guy. Are you lonely? Has Gaelic been neglecting you now that he has a hate boyfriend? Marcy is a little more uncomfortable here than she had been in your car, but when she catches sight of Gaelic's study, all of that slots off. It's even more of a mess than it had been last time you were here, when he'd been trying to impress you with his intellectual clutter. Oh shit. She gets down to work immediately, stacking books alphabetically and sorting papers into piles by subject. You know Gaelic is a type 8 personality who will probably go briefly ballistic at the knowledge someone has messed with his stuff. But Marcy is just so organized and thorough. You feel sort of weird about just standing here and watching her clean, so you gather up all the used dishes and bring them into the kitchen. When you're done with that, you figure you'll just try to be entertaining. You ask her if she's seen any movies recently, since you've made friends with Zabed, something like that, Zabidi, and started hanging out with Tagiri's anime club. You've been exposed to multiple cultural touchstones. Yeah, I don't really watch much TV. Don't worry. I don't need to be entertained. She kneels down to start dusting beneath the couch. I know you think I'm basic, and that's fine. I don't really give a shit what anyone thinks. Let alone a condescending alien with no blood color to speak of. Yikes. So if you wouldn't mind. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Oh. Oh no. Crunch, crunch, crunch. What the hell is that noise? And there you go again, getting swept up in the friendship endeavor and totally beefing it. You forgot about Godad's propensity for nomming on anything within reach. And he spent the last 10 minutes happily munching on several leather-bound notebooks. No! So, question, do you think Marcy is cooler than Dave? Well, That's a given. Come on. That's just a given. That's a, like, come on. Mole makes you one of the coolest characters ever. Gaelic Gaelic's experimental word rumpuses. Fuck, he loves those. He's going to murder you. To smooth another layer onto this farce, the front door creaks open. Gaelic voice rings out, calling to Goat Dad, who lets out an excited bleat and scampers off, trailing little white scraps. Marcy looks from you to the front of the house and down the paper trail. Then she's out the window and off down the hill because, though basic she may be, she's no idiot. Day fam's in shambles. Oh, somehow. Scamper. Oh, fuck. She don't play. Oh, that's scary. Oh wait. Can I go far enough back? Probably not. Wait, how far back can I go? Oh. Let's try downtown. You suggest that this place sure looks ripe for some serious power cleaning. Cause, wow, filthy. Gaelic is top 5 trolls. He'd let murder you. Yeah, I guess. I don't know if I agree with top 5, but you know, there's only one troll I'll let murder me. I was planning on cleaning down here anyway. The Jones mostly take care of the high blood neighborhoods. Interesting. Zebra and low blood's cleaning for him, but maybe he's an exception. Oh, I didn't even. Oh, that's good. That's good. Zebra. Fucking. I want to say I love the guy, but like, I enjoy. What's the right word for it? Is it like how fucked up he is? Kind of how evil he is. It's kind of fun. Conans could murder me and I'd be happy. Man, what's the term for like what I'm thinking of? It has to be something. Like a character because they're fucking the worst. I don't know. Interesting. I'm not here to explain cultural dynamics to you. At least not for free. You consider mentioning that you are the main character and thus totally deserving of cultural exposition, but you doubt you'd take that well. Also, it's kind of a weird thing to say, so never mind that. You show Marcy an alley you recognize, the one with the incinerator where Polypa had gotten rid of her assassination disguise. Here, maybe? Too easy. Okay, well, what about this stretch of road where Ramel killed a dude? There's still quite a bit of purple blood splattered around. Pretty good. But now, I don't have the right outfit for blood. Jesus. Picky. Oh, sorry. Are my professional preferences inconveniencing you? No, but you aren't used to this shit taking so long to pop off. Usually you've made a friend by this point, or you've been killed. You've been killed before? What are you? A purr beast? 9 lives? Hi. In retrospect, that was also a pretty weird thing to say. You meant it as a metaphor. Sometimes your internal monologue gets out of hand and spills out into your inner locution. Something. Whatever, dude. You're considering just bringing her back to your place to clean up the mess you've made there when you realize Marcy is no longer with you. You turn around to find her gazing down an adjacent street into an empty lot. The space gives you a brief twinge of recognition before it fizzles away to nothing. Meh, probably just deja vu. Oh, at first, you don't notice the person sitting on the tire pile, because without her other half, her silhouette is underwhelming. Oh, shit.
Ow. Oh, fantastic. Hey, Normie.
Oh, hi, Follicule. Follicule. It's been a while. She might notice that you are a whole lot less normal than you used to be.
They're right. They're weird as hell.
Hey, you are also like 80% more confident than you used to be. You don't back down from insults. Perhaps Marcy is the one who is weird, because she's the one who was so fucking into cleaning up after people. That's really strange.
That's a little judgy. Yeah, for real.
Oh, you had been expecting Follicle to join you in mocking Marcy. You didn't want to be too mean or anything. You were just really sick of having your intelligence insulted concerning stuff concerning stuff you absolutely could have no way of knowing about. You want to make her look like an asshole, but as usual, it seems to be in fact you who are the asshole. I like all the yellow bloods more than Solix. Not a bad opinion, but I don't know if I fully agree. I know I definitely like the one more than Solix. Hopefully Solix does more somehow in the story of Homestuck from where I'm at, because he seems like he was a very kind of disappointing character, kind of. Probably one, yeah. Marcy seems to agree. Hey, you go fuck yourself a little bit. You apologize. You didn't mean it. You just experience pilot confusion when there's too many friends in one place. You're sorry. You didn't mean to insult her hobby, but she actually doesn't really seem too into it. You were just trying to help. You know plenty of lowbloods who do all sorts of activities. Oh yeah. Who? Well, Volkel, for instance, she trolls. Wait, you need another word. She and her boyfriend harass people, and they seem to enjoy that. Also, there's Skyline, Chixie, and Sarava. They all excel in their fields to a certain extent.
Right. So how's that going for them?
Well, you deflate somewhat. Chixie gets skeeved on all the time, and Skyla constantly has to defend her home and lushes against thieves. Sarava literally had to gouge out their own eyes and downplay their psychic powers. Vicare, well, near you can tell, Vicare is having a great time falling off cliffs and imagining the firmament above. He might be an outlier and therefore shouldn't be counted. While you're working through your apparent classism through navel gazing monologue, Marcy is checking out Follicle out. Like, really checking her out.
Who the fuck are you?
Follicle slaps Marcy's hand away.
Keep your frauds to yourself.
Marcy raises her goggles up to her forehead. Oh my god. Oh my god.
You've got void rots.
You've got the void rots.
No shit, Sherlock. How, Sherlock?
Marcy gives her another once over. She looks impressed. You honestly can't blame her. If Marcy likes grimy things, well, Follicle is right up her alley. Dirt El Dorado. Selfishly, you wish you'd met Marcy back when you weren't more of a wreck at the beginning of your adventure. You were more of a wreck at the beginning of your adventure.
You're filthy.
I believe Troll Sherlock is called Troll Sherlock. You know, actually, I can't either. Yeah, but I actually can't because they was. I swear I read something talking about. Maybe it's just theory stuff. I thought I read something that was straight up said by Hussie or something about like troll, like older troll things are like old troll movies have those crazy ass names. No, I guess Troll Sherlock makes sense. Never mind. I was thinking of like names of shows versus like the names of the TV shows versus names of movies. Yeah, I got that mixed up. Marcy is really saying I can fix her. You're filthy. Fuck.
And you have no idea what you're talking about. Also, fuck you.
Marcy touches her on the forehead, slowly this time, so as not to take her by surprise. Follicle resembles a nervous little bug trying to decide whether or not to scuttle away. Did you think the dirt helped keep you insulated? It's actually the opposite of that. If you were less grimy, the energy transfer would be easier. Oh, right. Caprum isn't here, which means her giant battery isn't here either.
Yeah, I sent them out for a takeout. I needed a break.
But won't she, die?
Not instantly. Does your husk top die as soon as you unplug it? What are you, a fucking Boinrod scholar? What do you know?
I know a lot of things. You asked Marcy if she's interested in medicine. Maybe she could go into that. Marcy rounds on you in stark irritation. This is the most emotion she has shown since you've met her. Damn. Don't fumble this for her.
Whatever you're trying to do here, stop. I'm not stupid.
What do you think they say if I applied to be a medic off planet? Can accept she just likes cleaning.
They'd laugh their asses off and hand me a saturated scrub pole. That's if they're feeling generous. This is what I do. So let me do it.
Oh, chastened. Something like that. And uncharacteristically speechless. You nod and let Marcy turn back to Follicle. You really don't want to just leave it like that. But maybe the truth-friendly thing here would be less trying to improve your friend's life and just letting them live it. Demon had told you much the same thing all those months ago. That he's planning to keep his head down and try to stay alive. It's not uplifting, but maybe not everything has to be. Marcy gives Follicle some advice as to the best way to make sure her body retains as much energy as possible. Follicle groans, and you're pretty sure that if she had eyes, she would be rolling them. You do notice, however, that she listens. Marcy starts back down the sidewalk after that, pushing her scoundrel in front of her. After a moment's hesitation, you follow, half expecting for her to get mad again. Instead, she just slows down so you can catch up. She pulls her goggles back down over her eyes. You think they're probably more there for social reasons than protective ones. Sheepishly, you apologize for being a busybody back there. You're really used to wanting to help people out, kind of for selfish reasons. Friendship, but still.
Yeah, it's fine. No hard feelings. You just... they're bust. You just like fixing things. You just like fixing when they're busted, or when you've busted them through your own chronic idiocy. Sometimes you've just got to do what you can. You think Marsty might understand that a little bit. Yeah, I think I might. Sometimes it be like that. Oh my God. Friends. Boom, 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 boom. Fucking cool guy. Sorry. What do I keep saying? Boom. This is a dark world. Both because, yeah, I've read this. Yeah. Okay. Little dude. What do we got? Caraco? Caraco? Pirate? Pirates? Pirates? Pirate? Pirate. I'm gonna call him Pirate. Having learned the dangers of using the public thoroughfares, you've taken to dodging down byways and skulking in rare areas, trying to spy out individuals who look ripe for friendship while avoiding the more criminally insane denizens. Just now, you're following a winding footpath through the undergrowth surrounding a neighborhood where the local hives are spaced far apart. Humph. You came creeping along this footpath for safety. You should have known better. The undergrowth here is like most of the other life forms on Alternia, evolved to ruthlessly purge the gene pool of the weak and the reasonable. One of my favorite friendsome trolls. I've had a sticker of him on my laptop for years, along with a Vriska one. Yes, yes. Vriska. Coiled spring. No, I can't go on a. I can't. Sorry, Vriska makes me want to talk about Vriska. Yeah, coiled and spring-loaded stalks with foot-long thorns flank writhing bushes with razor-edged leaves, which in turn crowd tentacles flora with toothed lobes oozing liquid that hisses and smokes when it touches the ground. Extreme caution is needed, just as it's needed in every circumstance on this planet. While your time on Alternia has gotten you accustomed to injuries, you still shrink from being impaled on sprung thorns and dissolved in acid. You should have known that eventually you would have to come up against the local flora, so you proceed discreetly, avoiding poison fronds and trying not to step on trigger roots. But suddenly, your vegetative focus is interrupted. Your footsteps on the path, and then around the corner comes a small figure. Its face and horns are painted with smudged black and white marks. Despite its diminutive physique, it has some of the most impressive horns you've seen on any troll. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Whoa. Then the small figure sees you too, and is so startled it jumps a foot, impaling its horn in an overhanging tree branch and sticking there so that its small legs pump helplessly in the air. Honk! You beg the small person's pardon and assure him that you were fully as startled as he. You go on to explain that you are not dangerous, but that even if you were, you would not want to come to strife with even a small person with horns of that size. Honk! 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 Honk? honk. Honk. Yes, honk. 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 Maybe. Yes, you'll be happy to help him down as long as he promises not to attack you with the many bladed weapons that are stuffed into his belt, or with the dozen cans of inexpensive soft drink held in bandoliers crossing his chest. I didn't mute. It strikes you suddenly that the neighborly gesture is like helping someone whose horns are stuck in a tree branch can scarcely fail to kindle the light of friendship. You dare to hope that this will be the case now. Edging forward, you get close enough to see that around the small clown's neck hangs a dog tag, or ID necklace. You tilt your head and crane your neck to read the writing on it. Caraco Pirates. If lost, call Branya Gersam. Gersama. Suddenly, this all makes sense. This is Caraco Parrot. Pirate? Pirates, not parrot. Pirate? Parrots? Pirate. Pirates better. Must have been one of Bronya's reject runt wrigglers, who have grown to childhood under her tender care. Has gone out into the world to seek his fortune. That would account for his small size, short legs, small statured relative to his horns. You eagerly pull out your palm husk, happy for an excuse to pester your old friend, but you've got zero signal out here. You wonder if surrounding vegetation eats palm husk signals just as long. Just looks like it eats everything else. You disappointingly slip your palm husk back into your pockets. Ugh. You apologize for the delay, explaining that you were surprised to find that you appear to have an acquaintance in common whom you hope you will have time to discuss later. For now, you are ready, willing, and hopefully able to help him down. You hope he won't be offended if you slip behind him first. It's not that you object to bladed weapons or those who stuff of those in their belts, but you feel that the one he's wearing could ruin your look if buried in your torso, however unintentionally. You edge past the weapon, being careful not to touch the spring thorn growing at the edge of the path or their trigger roots. Once you're behind Caraco, you grasp his horns firmly, pull firm. Why am I saying firm? Withdrawing them from the tree branch and allowing him to drop lightly to the ground. Honk. You tell him that he's very welcome. Then there's a moment of awkward silence as you try to think of something else to say. Fortunately, your new potential friend is not as devoid of social grace as you, and gets the conversational ball rolling himself. Honk. You explain that you are indeed a stranger in these parts, and that you actually don't fit into any of the hemo spectrum categories. Wild, right? Although not quite as strange as you used to be, you like to think you're really starting to blend in with the local color. Honk. Well, you'd rather not exhibit your blood just now. You're a couple quarts low due to some robust conditions of life on Eternia, some of which you have recently had the honor of encountering. Honk. You sympathize, slinking along these hidden paths on Alternian woods can be tough on the morale. The smell alone is enough to make strong men weep. The vegetation looks like it was designed by the Marquis de Sade. Sade? Something. Not that he knows who the Marquis de Sade something is. You can't help but feel that it would be so much better if one only had a skulk buddy. You continue. How wonderful it would be to travel these dusky lanes with a kindred spirit, a twin soul, a fellow traveler, an intimate crony. You're such an expert on friend synonyms now. Honk? No, you haven't met anyone like that either, but you would certainly like to. Your new potential friend is obviously thinking seriously about this issue, so you back off, give him space. You pretend to be deeply immersed in studying one of the razor-sharp leaves on one of the writing bushes besides the path. You aren't one to force yourself on others or try to unduly influence their friendship decisions. Okay, well, maybe you forced yourself on others in the past and try to influence their friendship decisions. Maybe you've done this a lot, but you've recently evolved out as a person. You know that friendship is something that has come authentically from within. Friendship is spontaneous. Real friendship spouts naturally from the soil of mutual respect. The best friends grow and ripen over years and are not rushed or forced, of course. You've only known this small person for about 5 minutes, but you have to start ripening sometime. You're reflecting, thus, on the theme of friendship when a loud sprinkle pours suddenly from the sky above you. It's a crackling, sizzling sound, like a chitinous thing with too many legs, struggling in a hot frying pan. Karako jumps so violently that he nearly gets his horn stuck in the tree again. Looking up, you see the floating metal object vaguely troll-shaped, but huge, faceless, metal, and with numerous sets of lightning bolt-shaped horns coming out of its head and neck. It's also not a very sparkling conversationalist. It remarks in a flat, echoing blare. It elaborates further. Honk. We'll save. Boom. Yes. I have to leap to my proto-friend's aid. You leap to your proto-friend's aid. Thinking quickly, you push Karako against a large rock that juts out of the undergrowth nearby and jumps in front of him, shielding him from the drone with your body. You then appear to be leaning against the rock in an attitude of tranquil repose. Several of the bladed weapons in Karako's belt poke you in the ass, but you don't let this show on your face. Instead, you yawn elaborately and check your wristwatch. You don't have a wristwatch, but you don't think drones know what a wristwatch is anyway. You pretend to smoke a non-existent cigarette. Again, you're not giving anything away because drones don't know what cigarettes are either. But the drone has apparently taken an interest in you. It floats down between the trees and undergrowth and hovers above the path several meters from where you're pretending to relax against a rock after a long day of hiking through scenic shit-smell forest. It's quite a terrifying sight. Actually. The drone observes soullessly, making Karako jump so that several of your internal organs are threatened. However, you maintain what you believe the local populace would call a stiff upper whistle pillow. You got feral drones who can't talk like this. The drone's blank metal head studies you. Or it could be studying something in the opposite direction, or even taking the drone equivalent of a piss. You can't really tell from its expression, but it has no features to make expressions with. The examination or non-examination continues for some time. Whew. But your diminutive potential friend is well hidden from view, and after a while, evidently concluding that you are an inanimate object that makes unaccountable gestures with its wrists and fingers, the drone floats upward again, getting speed until, with a jury, it whizzes off somewhere to find other hapless non-standard citizens to euthanize. When it's gone, you stand away from the rock and rub several sore places that have been pierced by bladed weapons. You turn to Karako to come on the recent fervor, but stop when you see the look he is directing at you. A warm and admiring look of affectionate and esteeming look. A look of friendship. Your first impulse is to throw your arms around him and lean in, but on second thoughts, remembering his pants arsenal, you put your hands for a warm handshake. Victory is so close. But before you can seal the deal on this sweet friendship transaction, you hear a disturbance further down the path. God, can't the narrative chill for a single moment, especially a moment when you're about to consummate a beautiful friendship? You turn to look. The footsteps, several sets of them, get nearer, and around the bend comes 3 figures. 3 figures wearing swimming outfits, lots of gold jewelry, insouciant expressions. Huh? 3 figures with gills on their necks and small sized fins on their face. Oh man, is it possible you finally happened upon a group of legendary sea dwellers? They stop short when they see you and Karako, obviously startled. They study you, you study them. The finhead interloper 1 in a one piece and diamond earrings whispers to her companions, and all 3 burst out laughing. Finhead 2 interloper 2 in a violet wetsuit and rings slaps her thigh. In Finhead interloper 3 in checkered swimming trunks holds his sides. Part of you is relieved. Laughter drives out the devil. It is the best medicine, and in any event is better than homicidal mania. On the other hand, this laughter isn't friendly. It's cold, mocking, and supercilious. These sea dwellers are obviously laughing at you, not with you. You notice Karako's cheeks flushing purple under his face paint, his jaws clenching. However, he just stares with stony dignity at the interlopers. This just makes them laugh harder. The first realist says, "What are you supposed to be?" "Shrimp Cassidy, ain't squamious kid," says her second companion. "It called bait minnow and it's mutated soft shell crab," says her third. Looks like the minnow one went down on the clown, causing it to spurt out the other one. The sea dweller's laughter is redoubled. You will continue expressionless at these insults, but to your dismay, Karako's face is taking on a harsh, glowering look. You guess that such a tiny dude has probably been victimized by bullies his whole life, and as you happen to know, there are no bullies like Alternian bullies. Honk. You tell him to let them talk all the shit they want. Don't let them provoke him. They're trying to get him to do something stupid. If he doesn't react, they'll get bored and go away. Honk. No, remember that drone? It's probably still around here somewhere. Touch a scale on their heads, and you could be rendered into mother grub feedstock. Hey, bottom feeders, no whispering when you're in the presence of your bathers. And you, little buoy, put a respectful expression on your recognition surface. Lucky friend, the slender manatee over there. In fact, why is it you two are still perpendicular in the presence of sea dwellers? You should be bowed at right angles. The first sea dweller seems to have an affinity for cheesy ocean puns. You bow to the sea dweller. You have your dignity, but you also like not getting killed. Oh. Karako remains stubbornly upright, his face getting angrier and purpler by the moment. The bladed weapons in his belt jingle from his enraged trembling. Oh, yeah. Oh. I'll see the little clownfish. He's getting angry. Looks like he's gonna shit his pants. Holy fuck. What did I tell you about your face, boy? Didn't your luscious teach you anything? I doubt he even has a luscious. A self-respecting luscious would never let a shrimp like that out of the hive. Unless his luscious is just as defective. Ooh. The luscious cracks are too much for Karako. Ignoring your hissed warnings, he suddenly leaps snarling into the air. draws the bladed weapons from his belt in each hand and hurtles towards the sea dwellers. Oh my.
Honk! Honk!
Oh my god. We gotta comfort the boy and leap into the fray. You leap into the fray and lend comfort and support. You would have counseled Karako to turn the other cheek and keep turning cheek after cheek until the sea dwellers got fed up with their and went away. But now that things have hotted up, you're not going to let down this side. Karako crashes into the sea dwellers, his blade weapons whirling like a blender. You scamper close behind him and kick someone in the shin. It hurts your foot, but doesn't seem to have any other effect. These sea dwellers are made of tough stuff, or you're extremely flimsy. Signs have recently pointed to the latter. Your next sortie is more effective. However, thinking quickly, you pick up a rock and throw it at the trigger roots and spring a thorn growing along the path to where the violet bloods are enduring Hurricane Clown. A coil stalk springs up impaling the dude with a dozen foot-long thorns. Oh my god. He's thrown off balance, and the violet blood begins to flow copiously down his body. That's a hue you haven't seen before. Huh. Kinda pretty. Gamzee could never. He only killed the mid-bloods. He killed someone pretty high. Still technically a mid-blood if you count the sea dwellers. But we all know the sea dwellers aren't the real ones. No. That sounds fucked up a little bit. I don't want to continue that. Gamzee killed Equius, and that's more than enough. Equius counts as 10 Fafaries. I'm still upset about the Kanaya, Gamzee, Vriska, Airden showdown. I'm upset about that, but it fits what the comic was about, I guess, kinda. But these sea dwellers are made of tough stuff. He yanks the spring thorn stalk away from him, pulling the thorn out and flings it into the woods. Then he takes out a pocket handkerchief and starts patting his injuries gently. Meanwhile, Karako's blade weapons have not been idle, and the other two pseudos are likewise leaking violet blood. But these bastards are hard to kill. You remember Palipa telling you that as you watch, one of them grabs one of the bladed weapons from Karako's hand and buries into Karako's stomach. This, unsurprisingly, is distracting for a poor little clown, allowing two of his finny sons of bitches to grab handfuls of bladed weapons from his belt and bury them in various parts of his body. You dance around, delivering harmless kicks and curses. Karako is still waving his weapons, but he seems to be waving them more slowly now. Then, as more and more bladed weapons are buried in his body, he seems to lose focus. The weapons he's been brandishing fall from his hands. Finally, he falls to the ground in the center of a spreading pool of purple blood, twitches feebly for a minute, and then is still. You stare in disbelief at the corpse of one who, if he had been spared just a short while longer, would have been your friend. One despised and rejected, a clown of suffering, familiar with pain. They had flogged him and mocked him and spit on him, and then killed him. You struggle to come to terms with this. While you're doing that, one of the remaining sea dwellers grabs you by the hair and suplexes you onto the ground, Your head snaps back. The pain explodes behind your eyes. You are left lying on your back, trying to stay conscious, which is why you have a very good view of what happens next. In the dark sky above you, something opens. Something even darker than a sky, a hole, like a cave in the cloud, in the clouds. It widens until you can see. In the cave, a carousel of wooden horses mounted on brass posts rotates. The horses plunging up and down in time with carnival music, playing a mechanical organ. Riding the horses are naked store windows, mannequins, their legs slung awkwardly over the horses' backs, their stiff arms down by their sides in whatever pose they were created, their horns huge and widely shaped. In the darkness above the carousel, other naked mannequins with plastic wings tied to their backs are supported on wires, and above these, in turn, a net of white Christmas tree lights twinkle against the roof of the dark cave, or circus tents, or whatever it is, throwing their dim starlight illumination down the rotating carousel. As you watch, two of the winged mannequins break loose from their wires and fly down from that dark region into the night sky in the dimensional turning occupies. They maneuver until the stiff hands on the end of their stiff arms are underneath Karako, and then they lift him up into the sky and into the dark carnival. You hear a last faint reviving honk as they set him on one of the wooden horses, and then the hole in the sky closes. There's nothing but the night sky above you. All is silence and still again. Not feeling comes over you. You don't think you've ever felt such a feeling. Just the reality of how utterly insignificant you are. Sure, you've spent the last few months wandering with no desire, the desire for connection, and you are, in a way, being unique in this galaxy, but honestly, what does that even mean? You flit in and out of people's lives. They're 1 minute, gone the next, always moving from friend to friend. You are, for all intents and purposes, a virtual non-entity, a bland point of view vector, a neutral second person narrator, barely coming into the picture, a retiring entity, expressing only a simple one-dimensional desire for friendship. But just about now, you feel that things have gone pretty far, and just about now you feel that you've had enough of arrogant high bloods. Enough, in fact, of short wavelength hemotypes carelessly and without compunction killing and maiming and exploiting those of longer wavelengths of a survival of the fittest regimen that seems to come down to the survival of the most violent psychopaths. Is this a moral universe, or is it not? You ask yourself, are repulsive cruelties and sickening evil punished in this universe, or are they not? Does an ethical force operate in this universe, or does it not? You don't know the answer to these questions, but you do know one thing. You intend to depart for once from your one-dimensional persona. You intend to punish repulsive cruelty and sickening evil if it comes within your ability to do so. You intend to create an ethical force field in your local region. You intend to exert some moral gravity right around where you are if you possibly can. And you realize that this odd feeling you are having seems to be drying moral Higgs bosons out of the moral ground states. And right out of the fabric of this multicolored blood-soaked planet that heaves under your feet. You take out the aspect of Clown Sarker. Using 2 cans of inexpensive soft drink from where they fell from Karako's bandoliers, you shake them and pull the pins. Then with malice, a forethought, You direct the twin streams at the sea dwellers. You smell banana and strawberry as the deadly streams play upon them. Already weakened, they fall back with cries on the withering onslaught. As soon as the streams slacken, you take 2 more cans, shake them, and deal out death to the unrighteous. You smell peach and diet root beer this time, but no pity softens your heart. You wouldn't care even if it were pineapple watermelon you were spraying on these brutes. But these finheads are made of tough stuff. Rallying even in the face of this intense onslaught, they push forward and seizing some bladed weapons from the purple blood's pool advance upon you. Not one step back, you vow to the memory of Karaku pirates. You stand your ground, in desperation grabbing some cans of diet tonic water, club soda, and opening your batteries once again, but to no avail. A trident pierces you to the bone, followed by a scimitar, a tomahawk, a short spear, and so many other bladed weapons that the sheer weight of them drives you to the ground, where your red, precious blood flows in moderate streams, mixing with the purple blood of your proto-friend. This is the end, you realize, but you are glad you died in righteous battle. You are glad you created even the tiny sputtering, temporary moral force field in the moral force field in your local region that you did. You can feel your life and narrative point of view slipping away, but you are content. Yet, what's that you see above you now? A dark space has opened up, even darker than the night sky, and 2 stiff-looking winged figures are descending. They land next to you and gently place their stiff hands under you. Then they ascend once again, lifting you higher and higher into the darker space. As you pass the boundaries of the heavenly carnival, your life seems to revive within you. And as the fabric of the place closes around you and the 2 stiff mannequins place you on a carousel, horse next to Karako, you realize that planets, universes, dimensions, realities, powers, principalities, and cosmos come and go. But friendship is forever. Friendship. Oh. Wow. We got friendship. Wow. Let's get the endings I didn't get. The Dark Carnival is too real. Run a drone. We got the eternal friendship. It's what we needed in life. You run in wild panic. It's drone. Even the Alternian badasses you've hung out with have been terrified of the drones. Up close, it's one of the most terrifying things you've ever seen. It's making noises which you didn't know they even did, and which probably means something sinister. You race at top speed down the twisting path, focusing your senses to their breaking point to avoid trigger roots, razor leaves, and acid pods. At first, you hear the pattering of small feet running behind you, but as you redouble your speed, the pattering falls back, and after a while it is lost in the distance. You sprint for what seems a lifetime before you finally catch your foot on a trigger root and go flying through the air, barely missing being sliced into 100 pieces of tumbling ham by the barbed spring vine that lashes across the path only inches behind you. You land in the dirt, wind knocked out of you, but otherwise unhurt. You lie there catching your breath and waiting, but nothing happens. No enormous metal monsters whizzes down the path to impale you. No small clown-faced individual overtakes you on his short legs. Finally, after nothing happens, pick yourself up and dust yourself off. You're alone on the path, and no sound of either friend or potential friend or foe can be heard. No birds sing, which is probably good. You imagine that any bird native to this forest would probably sing by croaking up putrid sludge, and that the sludge would be poisonous or radioactive. But leaving aside the character of the loyal fauna, what should you do? Keep on down the path, putting more distance between yourself and the drone? Or should you go back and see if Karako is okay? You waffle for a while, then decide to go back. You sneak back along the path. You sneak a long way. But however far you go, there are no signs of either Karako or the drone. You don't know whether the drone picked Karako up and took him away, or disemboweled him and scattered the fragments, or whether Karako leaped into the undergrowth and hid or escaped, or what. One way or another, I'm gonna get you. Sorry. You're all alone again. This path through shit-smelled forest. Game over. Oh wait, I did save. I didn't realize I saved at that one point. Oh. Leaving the preference. Hey. Oh wait. Yeah. Boom. Honk. Grab by the coattails and try to keep him from precipitating it for a disaster. You leap forward and grab Karako by the coattails, or by his belt. You aren't actually sure what a coattail is. Jesus, he's strong. You can barely hold him. It's like trying to restrain a small truck. His legs rotating wildly, kicking up a cloud of dust, and he brandishes his bladed weapons wildly in the direction of the sea dwellers. After a startled moment in which they jump backward, the sea dwellers have started to laugh again, coming up with more stupid insults and fish puns. This is not helping. Karako runs twice as hard, honks twice as loud, shakes his weapons twice as threateningly. Hey, you shout at Karako, trying to be heard above the fracas, holding on with all your might and digging in your heels. You have half a mind to just let him go, to pay the sea dwellers back for their insults, but you try to keep a cool head. You're doing your proto-friend much more good, trying to restrain his wrath. You've now succeeded in wrapping your arms all the way around him, and now you get in front of him, holding him back with straight arms, bellowing soothingly into his face and trying to avoid the bladed weapons he is brandishing. But it's not working. You can see from the contorted features, the bared teeth, the distended nostrils with smoke coming out, the blazing eyes, that Karako is getting more and more enraged. I can't read. Oh my gosh. Oh no. And suddenly, his rage seems to reach a kindling point. His body vibrates violently. His eyes grow huge and round. And suddenly from his body, something like a nuclear blast pressure wave of fear and violence sends you flying through the air like a scrap of paper in a gale. What the fuck? Are you hallucinating? But you can see as you soar above the path that the sea dwellers aren't laughing anymore. In fact, they're screaming in terror and fleeing wildly, blundering into razor leaves being impaled by spring thorns and burned by pod acid, and generally receiving the stern retribution that awaits assholes. Then your head collides with a tree branch, and you're rendered unable to narrate for a while. Ow. Oh my gosh. You wake up lying in the dust. As consciousness returns, you realize that you're lying on a small path. And as it returns further, that a small cloud-painted figure is seated next to you. Quite calm now. He smiles fondly as he sees you sit up. Honk. You smile in return. You express relief that he realizes you were acting in his best interests, holding him back from the finheads, and now, though largely because of his unexpected burst of clown sorcery or whatever that was, everything has turned out for the best. It was miracles, man. Karako holds up his arms for a hug, but then remembered the bladed weapons in his belt, sticks out a hand. You shake it warmly. Wow. A tooth. Damn, gold tooth is just cool. Boom. Wow. Look at my friends. Oh, I missed this one. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Oh, I like that. A little round. Oh my gosh. Close the menu. I guess I was told to watch this. So, I guess I'll watch this on stream. I actually haven't figured out how I wanted to do certain things, but I'll just look at this on stream. I think eventually I'll like look at things and then watch them on stream after I've watched them once and talk about things to make it a little more than me not doing anything for 30 years. But I was told to watch this video. Oh my gosh, I don't know what the volume's gonna be, but let's see.
Hello, everybody! Let me tell you about Homestuck.
We can't fight the Homestuck.
Rose Lalonda, Send, Rise Up, Scunchid, Harley, Dave Strider, they all play Spurvin in the world. Harlequin, Nana Bro, Mom, Dad, Youth, Roll, Grandpa, Pester, Chum, Hella, Jeff, and Sweet Bro. Heat and clockwork, wind and shade, frost and frogs, light and rain, vagabond and mendicant, renegade consorts and denizens, Skya, 413, countdown to the reckoning.
What's this?
Carapaces, Pogo, Hammer, Sassacre.
I was told to watch You Can't Fight the Homestuck.
It's the greatest fandom. You can't fight the Homestuck. True, it's quite outrageous, but it's so contagious. Jasper, Secret, Dave, Sprite, Casey, Nudie, Doom Timelines, Good Dog, Best Friend, Jack causes many peoples, and Black Queen, Knack, Stuffing Corpses, Shoosh, Pap, Robot Bunnies, Midnight Crew.
Hey, cool kid, is this you?
Lil Cow, Babies, Ectobiology, Apple Juice, Pupa Pan, Nick Cave, City of Cans, Dot Scratch, Snowman. I warned you about those stairs, man. God, Tears, March, Drago, even is this douchebag. You can't find the Homestuck, though it's weird and random. It's the greatest fandom. You can't find the Homestuck. True, it's quite outrageous, but
Scary statement to make, kind of.
exploring Mytheradia, Tarot, Solix, Nepeta, Terezi's nuts, car, cats, crab yams. He's got issues with his dad. Equius, Bethpherica, Naya, the vampire fashion queen. She slices Zeradan in half, and Vriska is a badass.
Hell yeah.
Shit.
Hold on, sorry, I gotta go back a second.
So contagious. Exploring
Okay.
Mytheradia, Tarot, Solix, Nepeta, Terezi's nuts, car, cats, crab yams. He's got issues with his dad. Equius, Beth Every Kanaya, the vampire fashion queen, she slices Zeradan in half, and Vriska is a badass. Shipping charts, sick fires, all the irons in the fire, buckets, squiddles, angels, all the loose psychical, Fago, recoup raccoons, horror terrors kill you, troll gigas, killer clowns, Mobius, double reach around. You can't find the Homestuck, though it's weird and random, it's the greatest fandom. You can't find the Homestuck, true it's quite outrageous, but it's so contagious. Mate Spritz, Auspicious, Morail and Kismesis, Betty Crocker, ICP, Dead Daves are the enemy. Green Sun, Alphaverse, Jane, Roxy, Jake and Dirt, you, Princely, Tight Sky Fury is the Antichrist. Captcha-Log, Modus, and Strife, Specibus, Aaronite, Witch and Seer can't outrun what's already
Specibus.
here.
Okay.
You can't find
That's probably how I should be saying it.
though it's weird and random, it's the greatest fandom. You can't find
I'm like a gajillion pages and I can't change that actually.
outrageous, but it's so contagious. Stream bubble shenanigans, all who die come back again. TikTok, break heads, Hong Kong scary wolf heads. Cue balls, magic dogs, the universe is a frog. Self mob and fairies, Lord English killed Hussie. Troll cops, thresh prince, don't screw with the contest. Scale mates, rap wars, blowing up the tumor. Zilly hoof, shaving cream, echolatus, science beam, cascade, Morse code. This fandom's about to explode. You can't fight the Homestuck, though it's weird and random, it's the greatest fandom. You can't fight the Homestuck, and from now on it will go on and 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 on. You can't fight the Homestuck.
Man, this came out 13 years ago.
Fandom, it's the greatest fandom. You can't fight the Homestuck. True, it's quite outrageous, but it's so contagious. You can't fight the Homestuck.
Damn, Homestuck's old as fuck.
Random, it's the greatest fandom. You can't fight the Homestuck. True, it's quite outrageous, but it's so contagious.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. There we go. I warned you about. Shut up. I warned you about stairs, bro. There you go. I was told to watch that. Oh my gosh. Risk is a badass. Man. Jake's probably not gonna do shit in Homestuck, I feel. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe he does so much. I feel like it's just gonna be a he's just gonna be like a John and kinda just like exists and is just there, right? And just it works.
Weird and random.
I want to reread all the pages with Fairy. I need to give her like a true like understanding. I'm too hard on her. What has she done? What has she done wrong? Is it just? I'm not a fan of how she looks. Kinda. I don't really like her like design. Oh man. I think you're just too hard on the characters that knew nothing. I love John and Tavros. I feel like those characters have done the most nothing. Okay, maybe that's wrong. John does stuff, I guess. Yeah. Does John do stuff though, or just like, yeah, no. I would consider him the protagonist in Homestuck. Doesn't mean he has to do something, right? No. Yeah.
I mean, Dave does a whole lot, and I'm and I hate on Dave. Uh, gosh, this is not aura. This this is not it. That's not the fit. That's not the fit. But okay, I don't know. That's not it. He's a passive class, and he doesn't make shit happen. Stuff happens to him. Okay. I love you, Rose. Rose Lalonde. Roxy Lalonde. Yeah, yeah. Those are the good Lalondes because there are only two Lalondes, kinda. Yeah. Hmm. Does Kanaya do stuff? Oh, I guess Kanaya did do some things. Yeah. Gamzee did some stuff. Uh, all Aradia needed to do was wear the cool hat and she won me over just like that. Cool hats matter a lot. Like put any character in a hat, automatically better. It's insane how that works. Like, sheesh. Man. Some characters dead. Some characters dead too. Some dead characters too. Oh, it's a shame Vriska's dead, but maybe not. Oh. Yes. Okay, hold on. I gotta think for a second. Okay. Which characters have done shit? Imagine a world where Vriska never showed up again after Act 5. You know, that might have been the world where I just never finished Homestuck ever. And just would have went on to like fan fictions and just lived happily. That's what would have happened. You know, I would have made my own fan fiction of Homestuck involving Briska, making her a major player, making her just like fucking take over the universe or something, and she's in control. Uh, okay, characters who do stuff. Vriska does a shit ton. Vriska does stuff. Dave does stuff. She does stuff. Terezi does stuff. Jade technically does stuff. Tavros, he did one thing. He did one thing. Gamzee. He technically does stuff. Like a lot of stuff. Is it important stuff? Yeah, actually, no. I guess passive and active stuff involves based on like how it's like how you interact with your aspect, right? And all that. But he does stuff. Carcat.
My poor man, he's forced to do stuff. John, they do stuff. I was thinking about this for a little bit. He's working for English. Yeah. Yeah. So one thing I was thinking about though was with one thing I was thinking about the fairy. She's like high key one of the most proactive players. Maybe not high key, like low key one of the most proactive players. I feel like after like thinking about some of the stuff, the few screen time she has, she's like doing something, and it's surprising. It's surprising with the amount of screen time she has. So I feel like she actually does quite a bit, especially relative to her screen time. Relative to his screen time, she does like a ton. Maybe not a ton, but a lot. But she also does nothing. Quite a bit of nothing. Maybe. Airden. Does killing all those angels count as doing something? He killed Kanaya. He tried to kill Kanaya. He killed a couple people. It's kind of doing something. Yeah. Nepeta has like one moment. I guess technically, John, just in John's the main character, he has more moments than these people to do things. But, Airden killed Feferi, and that's it. Yeah. But he tries to get with everybody. That's doing something. So, come on. You got to give him points there. He's doing something. I feel like Jack's the definition of doing something, kind of actually, or I guess Beck Noir, Beck Noir is what they call that guy. I think someone was telling me. Maybe I'm getting mixed up. Kanaya. What's Kanaya done? Killed Airden. Trying to bring her people back. Got Tavros' legs. But she ain't working hard enough to get Rose, so I gotta put him there. Sullix. I don't know. Not really, right? Kai and I almost single-handedly made the beta universe. Does she do? I guess she does. She does. I feel like she does stuff. Equius? Like Equius doesn't really do anything. Does he? He goes hunting for Gamzee or something. Not technically doing something. She's one of the main characters, so she's gonna be doing more actually. So, what's Carcat doing? What's Carcat do? Team stuff. Jack gives Gives the universe cancer. No. Fuck. Uh. Huh. What's hmm. Safe Solix yells at himself in a computer screen. Past and future. Hmm. I had a conversation with one of my friends. We were talking about some. Sorry. So he has a thing where he agrees with his past self as much as he can, or basically, if he remembers himself saying something, he will stick to the opinion, and that's just locked in because he agrees with his past self. He says if his past self had a reason to think of that, he's locked into it because his past self can't be wrong, right? So that's his thought process. And I was telling him, I feel like it's more like how Carcat talks to his past and future self, right? My like for example, me, right? My past self is a fucking idiot. My future self, fucking more of an idiot, right? Current me, that's the only real one. That's the only way to do it. Uh, hmm. I think this is kind of like a vague though. This is like a vague list of like kind of I feel like they do something or not do something. Feel like like that? Is that right? No, no. There we go. That feels better. That feels better. I'm trying to think of everything. Hmm. Yes. 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 That's how I feel like people do though. That's how I feel like they've been. I feel like these guys are all like doing things in a sense doing things. And these guys just really don't do anything. Like these guys maybe did one thing. These guys maybe done a couple things, one thing, here and there. John, I feel like John does like a lot, but like him being the main character, he's not doing an insane amount for being the main character. If that makes sense. Uh, hmm, yeah. Okay. Mhm. It's been about 4 hours, and yeah, it's been about 4 hours. So I think I'm gonna wrap up stream. I can't think of anything else that I wanted to mention on the top. Hmm, yeah. So we'll come back to Homestuck on Sunday. Continue on, see what the trickster thing is all about. That was a that was that was actually genuinely like a big surprise. Happy birthday, indeed. Tis my birthday. I'm old. I'm I'm the ripe old age of a no, you don't unlock anything at my age. I guess I'm a year into being able to have um car rentals being cheaper. Yes, yes, yes. Uh, do you get anything for being my age? No. Damn. Damn. And my birthday's in December, which is the worst time to have a birthday. The best time would probably be like somewhere early June. Early June sounds like the best time to have a birthday. But then you're not a Sagittarius, so it kind of sucks actually. Never mind. Never mind. My birthday is a perfect day. If you weren't born today, you're not as cool as you could have been, but you're still pretty cool, probably. Yes. This is it. Trickster mode next or Trickster mode. Trickster. Someone said, I think Trickster Arc. So Trickster Arc next Sunday. Oh my God. And then, oh yes, next week's streams will be a little different. I will probably stream on Monday, Tuesday, and not Wednesday or Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. And then that week, that following week, should be pretty similar. Maybe I'll add a day and I'll probably throw Monday on just to make up for the Sunday. Because I'll be gone for a convention not this weekend, but the weekend of Christmas. And then it'll be Christmas and I have obligations on Christmas. Kinda. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. Expect a little difference. I can't think of anything else. I might do a random stream tomorrow that won't be relevant to Homestuck, which I don't know if makes sense to do. That depends if I do anything tomorrow. I don't know if I will. I kind of have like a hurt foot. I guess when you get old enough and you just sleep slightly wrong, whatever you slept wrong on just breaks down and cries, and I just can't believe what happened. I slept slightly wrong, my foot in a weird position, and my foot has been in the most pain I think I've ever had my foot's ever be in. Whenever I take steps and walk around. Actually, I think walking around all day in my boots has made it worse. Maybe wearing shoes would have been a better play. Like I said, past me is an idiot. Okay, thanks for hanging around the stream. Thank you. And I think this is it for reals though. Thanks for coming around. Yeah. Bye.